Howdy, howdy.
Oh, good morning. We swapped sides. I don't like that.
Oh, I don't know how we did that. Oh,
There you go.
I don't know
That's
how that happened. Uh, we are back. We are -1 today. Michael's a bit under the weather, so we're all wishing him good health and prayers that he will heal up. He's got a really sore back right now, so he's drugged up. And as funny as that would be to have Michael up here on drugs.
that would be a sight. Yeah, but we love you, Michael. We're thinking of you. So, yeah, feel
For
better
sure.
soon.
Yep. So yeah, hopefully he'll be back soon once he gets back on his feet. So that's how that's going. And yeah, here we are. Uh back for another episode and your guys' questions. Happy to spend some time with you. How was everybody's week? Where y'all coming in from? If you want to put that in the chat, and we'll kind of catch up on our week. Did you do anything fun this week, Lindy?
Oh goodness, I went to market with my daughter. As you know, she's lost her sight, and she thought, "Oh, let's try going to market," and that was a bit of an experience. Poor thing can't see anything at all, so she's like, "Oh, Mum, what kind of flowers are there?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, there's yellow ones and pink ones." And I only know like a handful of flowers. So, and then she was like, "Oh, what foliage is this?" And like, it's a leaf. It's got pointy ends. It was a disaster. So I failed at floristry. Yeah, so I think that was a bit of a fail for me. So yeah, not sure she's going to continue to have it delivered, but it was a good test to see whether it's something that we could do. So that was kind of the highlight of my week. Yeah.
That's
Apart
awesome.
from that, yeah, not much. Today it's blue sky, and I'm actually really motivated to get out in my garage and convert it into my home gym because you've inspired me, Todd. So,
That's awesome. Well, I,
so
I highly recommend it. It is my favorite place to be now. It does feel
yeah.
good.
Well, I've got my equipment all around the house. I've got my treadmill over here and my rebounders over there. I've got a vibration plate under here and in my room. Like it's all over the place. And I can't exercise anywhere because my daughter's asleep, so I can't treadmill. And my husband puts the washing basket on my rebounder. And
Right?
it's like, just leave my equipment alone because I just like to have it there all in one spot. So the garage is going to be my Lindy cave. Nobody goes in there. I'm going to put a sign on the door. It's got my car in it and it'll have all my equipment in it. So no one will be putting anything anywhere. So it will be my new place. So I
That's awesome.
definitely think I need that. Yeah.
Well, I think my favorite thing in there is a good stereo. So don't
Yeah.
don't forget that. You got to have the tunes. So
Yeah. Sounds good. And how was your week?
it was good. It was had a lot going on at work, but that got that done. And then I'm on our little side project. I guess I'm going to be doing a Zoom call and SBG. If anybody's in SBG, I'm going to start doing those on Saturdays. In fact, with probably start doing them with Chad here from Combat Carnivore. He's in the chat. Everybody go check out
Yeah.
Combat Carnivore's channel and subscribe. Yeah, I think it's going to be. We're going to start doing a men's health focus carnivore chat in there once a week. About Chad's a combat veteran, and I think he's a master black belt in jujitsu, and he has a dojo.
Wow.
And but he cured PTSD and a lot of the uh, same depression, anxiety that so many of us have healed with carnivore. But also, he too is a massive fan of Jordan Peterson, as am I. And as you know, Jordan Peterson definitely goes after the disenfranchised young men, which I kind of agree with, and that's kind of where my mind is too a lot of the time. So I think that'll be a lot of fun to start having that kind of conversation, kind of touch on that group. And it's not just going to be for men, and it's not just going to be for young men, but that is going to be the center focus. So uh, I'm kind of excited about that. That'll be fun. Um,
Excellent. I look forward to meeting you, Chad. Join in on the meetings as well. It'd be great.
for sure, be a good time. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, I started a 40-day fast 6 days ago, and I just broke it today. Wouldn't you know? I sit here and I do back, rolling 7-day fast, no problem. And then yesterday, I started this by saying I'm not going to do this like I've done previous long fasts where I'm not going to hurt my metabolism. I'm not going to ignore the warning signs. I'm not going to white knuckle through it and be stubborn and do something stupid. And then sure enough, once yesterday morning, I was chilled to the bone. And I thought, well, this will go away, because sometimes it does, because sometimes it's working on brown visceral fat, and that can make your extremities cold. So I gave it about 30 hours, woke up this morning, was frozen solid this morning, just so cold, which is not like me at all. I'm a hot sleeper.
Yeah.
Frozen. And then I went to get up, and the whole world was spinning. Like it took me 3 tries to get out of bed because my room was just spinning around me. I was like, all right, this isn't right. So I kind of got to my office chair and I took my iodine, put some salt under my tongue, drank a cup of waters, gave it a minute, went to stand up. The world was still spinning. Just moving my head about like that would just make everything spin out of control. It was pretty well, and I'm still having a hard time stringing sentences together. That's the other thing. I couldn't even put sentences together earlier, and very disoriented. And then I finally got out to the gym, and I thought maybe if I got moving, things would be better. So I got on the shake plate, did 10 minutes on my feet on the shake plate, got down, did 5 minutes on my arm. But then when I went to get back up, I couldn't hardly get off the floor. Not because I didn't have strength, that was fine, but everything was spinning. Like I had zero balance all of a sudden. It was a real problem. So then I sat down, gave it a minute. I drank some more water. And then I got on the exercise bike where I generally do 10 sets of 10 to 15 second sprints. And this morning I could only get 3 out. And then I couldn't hardly lift my legs. Like my legs were so weak. I was so weak, it was hard to get back up 3 steps into the house. And then I just sat here for about 2 hours, kind of prayed about it. Was like, what am I going to do? And then I was having a hard time keeping focus, keeping thoughts, keeping my focus. And so I was like, and I did not want to give up on it, but I was like, I better practice what I preach. And what I preach is to not do white knuckle fast and to not do, malnourished fast and to pull the plug before you hurt your metabolism. And if you look up online what the symptoms of your metabolism crashing is, it's weakness, fatigue, dizziness, brain fog, disorientation, and being chilled. I mean, it was clearly that's what was going on. And also when I got on the scale this morning, I only lost 0.6 pounds, which might sound like a lot, but for me, when I'm on a fast, I'm generally losing about 2.2 pounds a day. So obviously a bunch of that's fluid and some of it's fat, but that was more evidence that my metabolism was slowing down. And the last time that I did this, this severely, I had to prime for 6.5 months to fix my metabolism. So I did not want to do that because last time I continued to do OMADs for 2.5 months after all these warning signs and after all these same symptoms. So anyhow, I'm regrouping. So far, I just had a few pieces of prosciutto with a little bit of cheese because I wanted the cheese for the carbohydrates in it, because the dizziness was clearly because my glucose was super low. So I wanted a couple of carbohydrates in the milk sugar. And that took me like 4 hours before it finally came back. But then I finally got some of my brain energy back to where I could speak again. I was leaving Lindy and Michael some messages, and I couldn't even string together sentences when I was leaving them messages earlier. And but anyhow, I'm back, regrouping. I'm going to prime for 2 weeks. And I think also what it is I was off my schedule because the last 7-day fast that I did before this 40-day fast, I'd only reprimed for 3 days instead of my normal 7 because I was going to Wyoming and I wanted to not be fasting when I was in Wyoming. So I kind of did something stupid that I knew was stupid. I shouldn't have fasted for 7 days on a 3-day prime, but I did. So I think that already wigged out my body a little bit. And then in addition to it, after I had done that, I went to Wyoming and the food there wasn't what I was used to. I got into some seed oils by accident on that they'd cooked my steak in at one of the places. And so I think my body just was, if you're in the SPG, they talk about this a lot. I don't think it thought it was in a good environment. I don't think it thought it was safe and that the environment was good. So I think that had something to do with it. And then also, let's see, there was a stressful week. So there was a lot of stress and stuff going on. So I think there's a lot of cortisol involved there, but no worries. I'm going to keep you guys posted, and I'm definitely, as soon as I feel like my cortisol's come down, my metabolism's come back up, and I'm feeling good, I'm going to give this another shot. I'm just going to prime even harder and do it a little bit longer. I think I need to go on probably a 2 or 3 week prime, but then I'm going to try to do it again, unless that is not well coordinated with a certain trip to Australia that I have, and then I might do that afterwards. So I will keep you posted. I would have loved to have gotten past that, but I wouldn't be being real with you if I didn't tell you that was not the type of fast to keep going. I wouldn't suggest any of you keep going if you're feeling like that, because it is definitely not. It's definitely not the kind of fast you want to do. I want to be feeling like I was about 3 7-day fasts ago when they were going by just super easy and the weight was coming off. That was when I was in a good place. That's when I should have done that. So I'm going to get back to that spot. Try not to do too much damage in the meantime. Try to get back to that spot, and then we're going to go for it again. So
yeah, I'm really proud of you for listening to your body and pulling the plug, because we could see you were struggling and hear it in your voice. It was just not good. So I think that's a real bonus for you, because you do have that like addictive behavior, and I think you were becoming a bit addicted to, I've got to do this 40-day fast, and this way of life. But you've got to keep changing things up, and your body gets used to these things and shutting down. So yeah, you're a trooper. Good on you.
I appreciate it. I definitely get mental over those things, because I do not like to, I don't like to get accustomed to quitting on things, because then what's next? Then I quit on carnivore, like those are the things that hit you in the head. But
yeah,
it is what it is. But I was so looking forward to at least getting to day 14 and seeing how I felt. So no, that was a setback, but no worries. We will get on the next one. All right. Oh man, we got starred comments already. Let me pull these up. Okay, thank you both so much for adding to the community awareness of lymphedema. With daily vibration, continued compression, rebounding, etc., I'm losing weight nearly twice as fast as now. That is awesome.
Fantastic. Great stuff.
For sure. Chad at yeah, sorry guys, my brain is not working today. Chad at Combat Carnivore was just asking me in text message what my routine was, my workout routine. And most of it is just for that lymphedema, which this is why I do the fasting so much. And this is why I love this, this routine, because my legs are so much better. Oh my gosh, they're so much better. And when my legs are better, everything's better. It's so much easier to move around. You're so much lighter on your feet,
Yeah, because you do get that real heaviness in your legs, and you just feel like you've got these concrete shoes on your feet, and you're just struggling to get around the house. But Carnivore's been fantastic for lymphedema and lipedema, just helping with the management. But the vibration plate and now rebounder on top of that, it just optimizes that whole journey, makes things even double better. So
it is. And I go, my daily routine now is Wim Hof breathing, the box breathing, Wim Hof box breathing, because that moves the diaphragm and it loosens up your lymphatic blockage in your waist and in your diaphragm. And then I go to the shake plate on my feet for 10 minutes. And then I do shake plate on my arms. So I kind of plank from my knees to my arms on the shake plate for 5 minutes. And that opens up the thoracic ducts in your armpits, And then I go to the rebounder and I do 10 sets of 100 calf raises on the rebounder. And man, once I'm done with that, I mean, what a absolute crazy pump that I have in my legs, and it opens up everything. Yes. And then, I mean, it makes me have to pee like immediately when I'm doing that. Yeah. It's crazy. It's so good. And it just gets rid of all that. You can literally watch your legs just shrinking in real time. and then I go do bike sprints on the bike. And by the time I'm done with that, and then I cool back down for 10 minutes on the vibration plate and let it shake that lactic acid out of my legs and kind of move the fluid again. And man, once I'm done doing that, I do lifting and stuff in between there, but that's specifically the stuff I have built for the lymphedema, and it is working fantastically.
Yeah. No, I'm loving it too. So looking forward to getting my gym set up properly. So, I've got my dedicated spot to do it with my music. Yeah.
That's awesome. For sure. Josephine, good news. My mama has started a new journey by just cutting out all the processed foods. That's incredible. That's a very, very good start. Absolutely. There's not too many carbs that are non-processed. I mean, you got some veggies and fruits, but there's not. I mean, that'll cut out a lot of it for sure. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah.
My Apex Odyssey. That's interesting about getting cold at night. I woke up cold in the wee hours several nights within when it's 70 something degrees out in the house. Yeah, I mean, so I don't know. I'm a hot sleeper, and I don't know not everything being cold is metabolism related. Some of it's circulation and things,
and thyroid can be an issue as well.
For sure. I wonder if thyroid is also this kind of like, I wonder if thyroid is an issue because of metabolism. Like, I wonder if thyroid makes your metabolism slow. You know what I mean? So I wonder if those two are kind of the same but different reasons that your metabolism's slowing down. So, because what I read is that the reason why it's a sign for metabolism is because your core body temperature lowers because your body's not creating as much heat because your metabolism's not running, But so that's kind of interesting because it's usually metabolism because you're not creating as much thermals, or it's circulation because you're not moving as much blood to those areas where it carries the thermals, So kind of interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Let's see. Marty.
Just started yesterday, retired copier, need to lose a lot of weight. Yep, you could do this. We've lost quite a bit of weight and we're still going. It's a long journey, but hang in there and trust the process. Definitely worth the wait if you can.
Yeah, you're in the right spot. Lindy's down 500 pounds. I'm down over 300 pounds. Like, it comes off, man. You just got to stay the course and
be patient. Yeah.
Well, she's talking to me as much as she's talking to you.
and talking to myself as well. I constantly have to remind myself. I still don't look anything like Bella yet. I've got a long way to go. So, yeah, it's hard work.
For sure.
And it's a constant struggle. You talk to yourself daily. Those people that are not eating carnivore around you. Those temptations are always there, and you have to keep reminding yourself why you're doing this. So,
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Josephine. Yes, this is my big thing saying to people now is listen to your body, not what other people tell you. 100%.
Yeah.
Those are true words.
And we all know our body's best. No one else knows it. So, yeah, just ignore everyone else and listen to your own body and do your own research for sure.
100%. Yeah, just take control of your own health, Don't delegate it to anybody. Let's see. Todd, quit the long fasting. Not worth it at this size. Got to get an infrared sauna. You can sweat toxins out and rejuvenate the body. I appreciate that, Matt. I do think that that's very true. That is something I'm missing right now because I do know that when I spend time out in the sun and I sweat and get hot, man, that also moves lymph fluid and it moves a bunch of stuff out. However, the autophagy, and maybe I have to, Matt, I got to read more on the autophagy, because I don't know that fasting causes it or that saunas cause autophagy. I know that they cause growth hormones, and I know that they cause stem cells to come out of the bones, right? And so this causes stem cell movement. So that's all very good things, and I definitely want to do that. But I'm literally 99.9% of the reason that I fast is to eat the lymphatic impacted tissue on my legs. It's not supposed to heal because it's healing fantastically. And that was a big problem. My legs look like elephantitis legs, and now they're looking like human being legs now. So I'm quite enjoying it.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm doing it. And that's why I definitely am going to keep up the 7-day fast for a while. But the 40-day fast, that's only for really just, I've always wanted to get a 40-day fast under my belt. It really doesn't have anything to do with any of it other than it's kind of a spiritual thing or whatever, and I'm just going to get it done before I give up. And I'm going to get one of them under my belt for sure. But you are right. I'm definitely going to be getting a sauna, and I'm going to be doing that. But I quite enjoy the fasting. The fasting is so helpful to me for a lot of reasons. One is it makes my diet so easy to adhere to, because when you just fasted for 7 days, beef and eggs taste fantastic. You don't need much. Like if you eat beef and eggs every day, you start to get aversion. You fast for 7 days, beef and eggs never taste bad. Not one day out of those 7 days you'll eat them before a fast will they taste bad. And I love that, you know.
Yeah. And see, I'm the total opposite. I hate fasting. I cringe just thinking about it. I hate it. I love my food too much. And like I do the intermittent fasting. It's only because if I'm not hungry, I won't eat. I just eat whenever I'm hungry. So I love just doing it freely, but not having a planned fast. I can't. I just don't like it.
Right? I know what you mean. I'm pretty addicted to it now. I actually love it. I love fasting
Yeah.
about as much as I love eating, actually. So fasted 4 days in July. That yellow sediment happened, and haven't had solid stool since then. Any ideas what's going on? Wow. I really don't know. I mean, are you losing weight too? Or let us know. I mean, if maybe you just got very fat adapt and your body's burning through a bunch of fat right now, that could be it. Maybe you're eating too much fat. Maybe you're eating too much rendered fat. Some of those things. Like, do you go many times a day or once a day, or I don't know. We're going to need more info on that one.
Yeah, no idea.
I have lipedema. I'm seeing a vein specialist. I have horrible veins. I just had 2 on my left thigh worked on. Right thigh is next week.
Yeah, interesting that, because I could never really see any veins in my legs because it was so much edema and so large. But now that I'm losing the weight, I've got all that extra skin. I'm actually seeing a lot of veins, and they're not smooth. So I'm wondering whether that's going to be an issue for me, like having the veins. And I know sometimes before surgery they need to remove the veins because it's can be harmful. I have sort of read that on different lipedema sort of Facebook group and all that, and that kind of frightens me. Yeah, now that I can see my veins, it's not looking pretty down there.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I don't see any veins in my legs, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to wait to see. But yeah, I don't have that problem for sure. But the lymphedema swelling is what I had a huge problem with, and then that made that hard impacted tissue that just wouldn't go away. It looked like elephantitis, like legs, and that's going away splendidly now. So, but
be interesting to see whether you start seeing those veins, because I'm seeing them a lot now, and
yeah,
yeah, it is concerning me whether that's going to be an issue before, if I ever do have leg surgery, whether they're going to have to remove the veins first.
huh? I'll be keeping an
Yeah.
eye out for sure. I'll let you know.
Yeah, I definitely love to talk to Dr. Keith about that. So we need to try and get her back on the channel.
For sure.
Mm.
For sure we do. Hey,
Hey,
Charlie.
Charlie.
Hey, Marilyn. Hey, Todd and Lindy.
It's Michael tonight. Hope he's doing well. Marilyn, Charlie, giving you a well-deserved thumbs up. Thank you.
Thanks so
Yeah.
much. Thank you for stopping in. Hope you guys are doing awesome. Let's see. I think if I could lose my excess skin, I'd be really close to my goal weight. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I know.
Yeah.
I know. I go back and forth on that all the time, like, what is my goal weight? I don't even know what my goal weight is. I think that it's somewhere between like 250 and 270, but I have no clue, you know? And then I think that I probably have somewhere between 40 and 50 pounds of skin I got to get taken off. So I think when I get somewhere in the neighborhood of 280 to 320, somewhere in that neighborhood, once I get the skin off, I think I'll be there. So I think I'm only somewhere around 100-ish pounds. And that's what I was hoping to get, you know. But here I go doing exactly what I shouldn't do, which is putting a time limit on it. But that's what I had planned for, hopefully by summer, but who knows.
Yeah. And I'm not really thinking about the scales. Like I do weigh daily and see what's going on, but wherever that number lands, I'm going to be happy with that. As long as I can get around, I can go out with the family, not be the one holding people back. I don't need to sit every 5 minutes. That's my goal, just to be able to live my life and not be a burden on other people. So it's hard to tell with the loose skin. I'm not going to be able to get rid of it all. It's always going to be there. So having a number to focus on, I think, is just going to do my head in and set me up for failure. So wherever my body lands, I'm going to be happy with.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't care what the number is. I mean, I'm going to be happy too, but I do have certain numbers, but it's not pounds. I don't know what the pounds are going to be. It's more with feel and probably body fat percentage roughly. And it's not it's not like out of reach or anything. It's like I think men run pretty good somewhere between like 24 and 18% body fat. Sometimes they were run pretty good. I'm not looking to be super lean or anything, but somewhere in that area I'd like to get to. But who knows? We'll see. I also live in the cold, and I'm what do they call that, mesomorphosis body type or whatever
Oh, okay.
they keep
That's a
saying.
good word.
I can't remember what it's called. What I know is my heritage is Vikings. We were Vikings, Norwegian Vikings, and we were short, stumpy, fat people that lived in the cold. So I think maybe I won't get too low on body fat percentage. We'll have to see. Matt, the fasting was hurting my muscle gains. It was burning up my muscle mass. Did DEXA scans to track what fasting was doing. I only fast 36 hours once a month. Oh, nice. Well, I totally get that. And Matt, to be honest with you, I'm on the fence what I should be doing, right? Half of the time, I think I should just be working on gaining muscle and then let the fat go on its own pace. And then half the time, I am healing oriented in my thinking. And I'm like, what I should be doing is being in autophagy and mitophagy to heal all the damage that I've caused with my lymphatic system, with my eyes, with my thyroid, with my glands, all these things. And I should be concentrating on healing. So I get it. I'm stuck in both worlds. I don't want to lose a bunch of muscle and get super small and lean and then have to build it all back. I don't want to do that. But I also don't want to just stay concentrated on muscle, have a hard time losing my lymphatic impacted tissue and maybe not address the lymph tissue, So I'm trying to play a happy medium. So right now what I'm doing is when I fast hard and I fast for often. But then when I eat hard and I eat often. So when I'm eating, I'm putting down, 5,000-6,000 calories a day and eggs and meat sometimes, And then when I'm fasting, I'm going 7 days, and I'm doing dry fast. So I'm trying to find a balance in both of those worlds, if that makes sense,
Doesn't Dr. Chafee talk about being on the carnivore diet, you do experience some autophagy? So I'd love to know what the difference is.
Well, here's the difference, in my opinion. What he's talking about is that we're always having some level of autophagy because we sleep, so it's not like we already sleep and we're already eating low carbohydrate diets. And so we get into fasted state quicker, I believe is what he's saying. Because I've heard him say that too. Let Let me see. I was trying to pull up my fasting app, but I know that after 72 hours, it begins the immune cell regeneration. So there's certain times, but I just know from doing it. Well, there's two things that I do fasting for. One is for the healing of my body and my damaged and dormant protein cells. But two, it's also for my fasted insulin set point, right? Which I do believe in, which is a hypothesis that Jason Fung, I think, created. But I do believe in that the only way to really get your fasted insulin set point to lower is by being in a fasted state for a long time. So it can take years. So I'm trying to get a lot of those days in to get my insulin resistance down. But then I'm also trying to heal this lymphedema impacted tissue, and which is supposed to not go away, which is, I mean, they say pretty much the only way. That's why they get that stuff surgically removed and cut off. And I don't see people, I mean, ask Michael, he had a lymphedema tumor removed, and it was not a good thing. It was painful. It was miserable. It was a serious amount of wound healing, very serious threats of infection, all this stuff. So that's why I'm doing it, because you wouldn't believe. I wish I would have taken more before pictures of my legs. I got a few of them. But when I look down at my legs now, I'm like, oh, those are like human being legs, where before they look like elephant legs or some sort of animal,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I'm doing this. It's not really for the weight, but I do understand that it's coming at a cost to muscle mass, which is why I'm really trying to do things on the other side that spawn growth hormones. That's why I'm doing the sprinting instead of long running or walking or whatever, because walking takes muscle off of you, but sprinting puts muscle on you because it causes growth hormones. I'm trying to do those kind of hit exercises more than the long aerobic exercises that actually will eat away at muscle. So I'm trying to find the happy medium, but also I am just a dumb electrician from Montana trying to guess my way through this thing. So I couldn't tell you. It's like I surely could be doing it wrong. That would not surprise me at all. But stay tuned. We're all going to find out together.
Yeah, that's it. We're all learning.
For sure.
Yeah. Do I understand this correctly? If a person is eating your RMR, you can fast every other day without hurting one's metabolism. I haven't tried any fasting yet, thinking about it.
Do I understand this correctly? If a person is eating your RMR, you can fast every other day without hurting one's metabolism. I haven't tried. What is RMR? I'm guessing that that's some sort of maintenance. I'm gonna have to look.
Something recommended. I don't know. But you can fast every other day. Whether it'll hurt your metabolism, I don't know. Again, it's something I guess you could try it out.
Resting metabolic rate. I gotcha.
Okay, good.
So that's basically your maintenance calories or maintenance macros requirements. I don't think so. I mean, every other day, if you're hitting your maybe that I haven't really heard that. Here's what I know is that you don't even have to fast necessarily. You can just undereat every day, and that will cause you to go into. I mean, that's what caused my thyroid or my metabolic rate to go into a spiral the first time I did this. And what I do know is that if you eat in excess and you have an excess of macros, protein, collagen, fat, amino acids, all these things, your metabolism goes through the roof. That's what happened for me. And if you, I've been able to easily fast for 7 days normally without my metabolism crashing. This is the first time, and this will be the 12th 7-day fast that I've done this year. And this is the first one that started to crash my metabolism. And I think it was because the last one that I did, I only did a 3-day refeed instead of a 7-day refeed. And I was out of my routine because I was in a different town, different state. And I ate food that I normally don't eat. It was still carnivore, but some of it was dirty. It had seed oils in it. They cooked my steak in seed oil, and I didn't know it. and I underate during that time. And then there was a high stress level to a lot of things that were going on right then. So I think that's what happened, because ultimately I think when your body feels that you are not in a plentiful, safe environment of food and healing, I think it freaks out and it starts to hold on to your fat and everything you have, and it just goes into survival shutdown mode, and it's not a pretty sight. So I don't know that this matrix, Julie Ash, is completely correct. I think you could do that, but if you were stressed out of your mind or grieving or something like that, and you had other big stressors on your body, or something was, messing with your environment, I still think your metabolism will shut down. So let's see here. I was going to read this one too while I was by it. I was trying to see if he left another one. Okay, no.
Okay, several times.
Lost, didn't lose several times a day during the night. Didn't need to lose. Okay, you didn't need to lose anyway, but you're going several times a day and in the night too. I don't know. It seems like your gut microbiome got screwed up, or you might be eating too much rendered fat for that, is what I'm thinking. So, because you only lost a few pounds if you kept doing that. No, I'm not sure what's going on there. There's something kind of strange going on there, if you ask me. I've never had that. That only happens like when I'm 6 days into a 7-day fast, I get that yellow sediment stuff.
Oh, Lindy, do you eat once or twice a day? And what time of day do you stop eating in the evening? It depends. I normally eat twice a day, but sometimes it might just be a nomad. And my first meal is probably about 1 p.m. And then I normally eat about 5 or 6 with my husband. So, yeah, and that's it. After that, I don't like to eat anything too late at night.
Nice. All right. I started sprinting again last week. I feel like I'm high when I get through. I sprint about 10 to 25 yards and I do about 8 to 10 sprints. I'm 57-year-old man. I have lost just over 100 pounds. Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Yeah, I love the sprints too. It definitely gives you a little high for sure, and it feels really good. And I do truly believe in it. I mean, one, for two reasons. One, if you look at pictures of long distance runners versus sprinters, the sprinters are definitely jacked, and the long distance runners are definitely more lean and lanky and gangly type look. And so that's a whole real thing. And then the only time I ever got accidentally kind of jacked in my life was when I was playing softball and I was running bases and running the outfield practicing, was sprinting, and I built muscle mass by doing that, which was pretty crazy because I wasn't lifting at the time. So I realized that there's some definite truth to sprinting causing growth hormones, and so that's why I'm definitely doing that as well. So congratulations. I think that's a great idea. Definitely keep us caught up on your progress. That's going to be really fun to see how it goes.
So where do you sprint? Do you just sprint like on a
I'm doing it on, I
or
just do it on the bike right now. So
okay.
Dr. Phil told me this. He goes, you can pretty much use anything as a sprint. You just have to do it like you're running away from a bear that is chasing you, basically.
Good idea.
Yeah, so you just have to freak out on it and go as hard and as fast as you can. Like if you're really like literally you're trying to mimic running for your life, basically. It's like a fight or flight type of mechanism.
Okay, that's a good way to get my husband to sprint. I just pop the bird on the floor.
There you go.
I'll watch him run.
There you go. You should do it. Yeah, and so I just that's why I had knee surgery a while back, and well, not a while back, a long time ago, but I don't want to mess up my right knee. So I'm not going to run on the ground until I get, probably somewhere below 350, then I'm probably running the ground. But I didn't think it would be wise, to be running, when I started doing the bike sprints, I was like 470, and now I'm down to 400 ish. And so, but even so, that's a lot of weight, because, it's like when you run, you're landing with about 3 times your body weight. And so you don't want to be landing 1,200 pounds on a knee over and over again. It's just going to be hard.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering how you do the sprinting, because I don't think I could do it, but I think I could do it on a bike.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let me
smart.
show you I don't know let me see if I have the picture of the bike so you can see which one I do it on. Because I got one of those where you sit back kind of.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me see if I have a good picture. I had a picture.
I'd like to get a bike.
Oh, here we go. All right, let me pull this up here. This one wasn't bad. It was only like $400, and it was good. And the reason why I bought it wasn't even price related. It was because it's the only one that held 450 pounds, which I was already at the time that I got it. I was a little more than that, but it was the heaviest rated one I could find.
Mm.
So that's the one that I got. Here we go.
Yeah, you want it
So
to be sturdy.
yeah,
Oh, I like that.
yeah. So this seat slides back up and down. So you pull this lever down right here, and it
Mm-hmm.
slides up to here. And then so it gives you plenty of room, and then you put your feet in these little guys, and so it's got a nice big seat that's not cutting your butt in half, and then you're kind of pedaling out instead of up.
Yep.
You're kind of pedaling like this, and yeah, and that's all I do. And it has a little spot up here, and it tells you how many revolutions a minute and how far you're going. And if you hold on to these handles here, it'll tell you your pulse and how many calories you're burning and stuff. I really don't. These handles also, if you have a wide butt like I do, they flip up and get out of the way.
Okay.
So yeah, so that if you can fit on there nice and easy. And what I was worried about was this back because I thought, oh, I'm going to be leaning back hard on that when I'm pedaling. I'm probably going to break it. It's sturdy as can be. This thing is super sturdy. So yeah, and so I just do
Oh,
that,
cool.
and I put my phone in this little tray here, and I put my stopwatch on, and then I set it for 13 seconds, and then you just go ape as fast as you can until the 13 seconds goes off. And then I try to change it up. Like I'll do some at 10 seconds, I'll do some at 13, I'll do some at 15. And I go through them, but I do 10 sets of sprints. And then it's kind of about how well you're doing it. It's not so important how long you sprint as much as it is how quickly you recover between the sprints. So then I time my recovery time, and it's getting better and better and better. The more that I do this, the quicker I recover before I can do the next set of sprints. You know what I mean? And so
Right.
that's kind of what you're looking for is your recovery time between sprints. But yeah, this way it doesn't hurt nothing. But this way I knew I was in trouble because I do this. I do this every other day on the bike. But then I go over here to this hit axle right here, which you can't really see it, but this has a bar that goes through here, and it's on rollers right here. And so these are like big bicycle tires. And so you pedal the bar because it's on a cam. And so you pedal the bar like this. So I do like a half plank from knees to my shoulders. And then I do on every other day that I'm not doing the bike, I do it here, and I do upper body sprints with this thing, and I just go crazy for 15 seconds pedaling as fast as I can. And then I collapse on the floor and pant like a dog because it hurts. And then I do that 10 times on here. And that's after I do 10 minutes standing up on the shake plate here. And then I
Yeah.
do 5 minutes on my arms and my knees on the shake plate to open that up. And then that works pretty well. And that's for the most part. Oh, and then I do the rebounder here. I do 10 sets of 10 or 10 sets of 100 calf raises. So I just go like I point my heels down and then toes up, heels down, toes up. And I just do that 100 times. And you think that sounds easy? I dare you to try it. That is one that will make your calves burn. It's still the hardest thing that I do out there every day because my
Yeah.
calves are burning. But I do that because your calves are they're supposed to be the heartbeat of your lymphatic system. So it's the pump for your lymphatic system. So that's what I've been doing.
So yeah, Matt thinks he needs some big mirrors in the gym.
I would need big mirrors, man, but I am working on it. This is round one. I'm going to insulate those walls first. Let me here. I'll pull up another picture so you can see. I don't know if I have it in here actually. Maybe I do. Yeah, I do. All right. So, because I added some of this stuff for weightlifting, which wasn't in that picture. Let me share this screen, Matt. Present. Screen share. So my brother gave me this, so I added this recently in there. And so I
Sure.
do have the squat rack and the Smith machine and all that now. So I am doing far more lifting and free weights and dumbbells and preacher curls and some deadlifts. And so I have implemented that into there. So I'm gonna deal with it this winter, but then next winter I'm insulating this thing and gonna put some heat in here, and then once I insulate it, put sheetrock on the walls. Then I do eventually want to put the diamond plate, the stainless steel diamond plate for wainscoting up on the bottom, and then at the top put mirrors in so that we can see the progress. But I figure I'm gonna need a year, Matt, before I care to look in the mirror. So give me a year.
I don't know. That all looks like torture equipment to me.
And I know, and this is what I say because I know that if I like literally, if me from 22 months ago was sitting in that recliner stuck with oxygen in his nose and not being able to stand up for 90 seconds at a time, and I would have saw this video of me showing that gym talking about losing 300 pounds, I would have clicked off me for sure. I would have just been like, yeah, well, that's nice. Good for you. But I can't breathe or stand or do anything. So I get it. That's what I would have thought too. And back then, all of this stuff looked like torture machines to me as well. But
yeah. But I think I like having a dedicated room like you do. I'm actually getting excited by doing that to my garage. And then having that space, putting up my motivational pictures or probably not mirrors right now, it is actually exciting me. So maybe that's what I need now is to get motivated to do exercises, have a place that I feel comfortable in, have my music pumping and making it my safe space. And I will start to enjoy it. So that's what I'm hoping by moving everything out there. Because in the house, I'm not enjoying it. I am forcing myself and then I get any excuse under the sun not to do it.
I
And
think
I don't
so.
want it to be that way. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think so, right? Because I know that honestly, when I'm getting pissed or stressed out, I go out there. And that's where
Yeah.
it feels good to take it out on. And I also know, I'm very big lately. I know this is a biblical principle, but it really holds true with everything as far as I'm concerned. In the Bible, it talks about repent. And I say this a lot, but this is a big breakthrough in my life that I really implement. And repenting, people thought in the Bible, a lot of people thought that it just said, meant to say sorry, change your mind, turn from sin. A lot of people say that it, means to turn your back on sin. And those are all true, but it's actually it's a very big statement that is made in Hebrew, and it actually has as much emphasis on turning from what you were doing that was bad, but as much as it emphasizes that, it emphasizes turning to something that you're now going to replace it with. So it's a change in direction, and the emphasis is more on where you're going and not so much where you were coming from. It's what your focus is going to be on. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if you really want to change your focus, if you really are changing your focus and you're changing your direction, then you're going to be looking through the windshield of where you're going, not where you came from, which means that you have to have things that are taking up your view, right? And
Yeah.
to me, that means building spaces like this where you're going to spend time instead of, because the more of these places that I have now, the less tempted or even accidentally or just out of idle time I will end up in other bad old habits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's a whole lifestyle change. We really need to change, get away from all those old habits and create new habits. And this gym is a great way to do that.
for sure. 100%. All right. Big mirrors. I'm trying to remember where I was eating. Oh, yeah, here we go.
I was eating extra beef fat, so not so much lately. Softness has gotten some better. More brown liquid now. Sorry, maybe too TMI.
No, I think if you're, one thing you can try for a while is just taking some of the fat out and especially rendered fat and just try eating leaner meat for just a little while and see what happens, because that shouldn't be happening. If that continues to happen, you might have to get that looked at because it could be some sort of gut bacterial infection or something, I hear.
Mm,
So definitely want to look at that.
And what kind of meat are you eating? I know pork gives me the runs and makes me feel really unwell. And chicken I'm not too good with either. So
Yeah.
maybe just, yes, change it to the cut of meat that you're having.
Yeah, for sure. Sandra, I'm so worried about Michael. I know that it is, I know what it is to have a spine fail to emergency fusion and what goes on all the years later. Michael is absolutely not a candidate for spinal surgery. Yeah, for sure. I know. And, I was talking to my brother about this today. I know what it's like to, because one of the craziest unexpected things that happened to me as I lost this weight and went carnivore and had composition changes through priming was my posture and my skeletal structure changed. So crazy, but I got taller, everything squared up. My knees and my ankles are lined up with my knees and my knees are lined up with my hips, and my back straightened up and my shoulders straightened up and my neck straightened up, everything straightened up. And it was, I think it's because it got stronger, leaner, but also I think some of the weight came off there, but also I think, the tissue just got stronger, like the bones got stronger, the ligaments, the tendons, the white tissue, everything just got stronger, and everything squared up because I don't have the back pain that I used to have, and I don't have the hip pain and stuff. But I remember what that was like when my legs were so heavy and pulling on me all the time, and it pulls you in funny directions. So I pray that as Michael keeps losing weight and he stays carnivore, which he is, he just needs to get his feet up off the ground. But he's fighting a lot of uphill battles with that because his lymphedema is far worse than me or Lindy's was.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why we got to keep him in our prayers too, for sure. Charlie Maryland. Supposedly, the fellow that fasted 382 days did not consume or did it to consume excess skin, and it worked out for him. Yeah, I know that whole story you're talking about, and it was incredible. So it definitely works. It definitely works. He was under a doctor's supervision, I think, and I think he was taking vitamin supplements and minerals, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, absolutely, and I know that it works for sure. I'm watching it happen to my legs right now, so I'm definitely going to be restarting this. I'm not giving up by any means, but also I do not want to be a hypocrite where I tell people on here, don't do malnourished fasting, don't do white knuckle fasting, don't, if you start feeling chilled. I mean, pretty much everything that I sit up here and tell people to not do on a fast was happening to me starting yesterday morning. So I had to have a come to Jesus moment with myself today and be like, I need to be humble enough to, because trust me, I didn't want to have this conversation here and tell everybody after my great announcement of a 40-day fast that I was tapping out after 6 days, but I'm trying not to be that stubborn-headed OCD monster that I was. And so I am going to definitely redo this, restart this. But, we got to be, none of this matters if everything's not going to be transparent and 100% straightforward and honest. And so this is more important. So this is what I'm doing, and you guys are going to get to watch it, step by step with me. So I'm going to get it. I know that. I know I'm going to get it because it's bugging me too much not to get it at this point. But all this has done is made me a lot more determined to prime really hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks, and quite honestly, I was already thinking about it. I'm like, I'm going to take sleep more serious. I'm going to take priming more serious. I'm going to do a lot more praying to get a lot of this stress out that's been going through my life right now. I think it's been causing this, and get that stuff out, because if I'm going to make it, I got to get those things under control. I got to leave that stuff to God. I cannot be carrying that with me. And I think those all had things to do with wearing me down and making my body feel like it was not in a good spot to be dropping weight, and to tank my metabolism like that. So stay tuned. We're going to be doing it again here real shortly.
Dude, your stall is over. You're noticeably downsizes since the last watching, and Lindy is getting so small she needs to get closer to the camera. Oh, thank you.
For sure. Yeah, I'm definitely not complaining. My stall's not been bad at all. Like literally, it was my stall hit pretty hard over the winter, but this summer it just came off. I'm almost a complete 100 pounds lighter than I was starting in the spring here. So yeah, it's been phenomenal. There's no complaints there. My stall's definitely over.
Yeah, well, I think I'm in the stall now because we're in our winter. So I'm
Yeah,
hoping when summer kicks in that I'll start to lose weight again. So I think it's just that winter, summer.
I
Yeah.
think so. I think the circadian rhythm, yeah, for sure. Nope, but we're gonna keep going for sure. How do you know if your metabolic rate is messed up? Well, there's many things, but honestly, depends on if you've ever had a good metabolic rate. Like I wouldn't have known that mine was messed up until it started getting good. And now I have a comparison. That's the biggest for me, but there are signs. One, if it's really hard to lose weight for you, like if you are in a calorie deficit or you're doing things, to be in a calorie deficit, if diets hardly ever work for you, if you don't lose weight very easy at all ever, those are all pretty good signs. If you have thyroid issues, if you have adrenal gland issues, those are all pretty good signs. If you get chilled all the time, if you have chronic fatigue, if you have brain fog, if you don't sleep well, those are all signs that it could be. It's not 100% guaranteed, but those are all warning signs. But the best way that I could tell you to test it in the easiest and kind of funnest way would be to join the Steak and Butter gang, do their priming protocol, and see what your body is like nourished in carnivore, and your metabolism will go up, and then you'll feel it for yourself, and you'll be like, oh, that's what a nourished metabolism. That's what I did. That's how I felt it, and that's why I'm a fan of it. So, but I mean, you can do it at home too. Just eat, you know, eat, eat enough food that like don't undereat. Eat enough food, and eat a little bit more if you could stomach it. Don't make yourself sick. Don't give yourself diarrhea. Don't make it hard on yourself. But I'm talking about get up in the morning and make it a point of eating several times a day to get plenty of protein and fat in, and just do that for 6 weeks and see if your metabolism doesn't go up. For me, it went up exponentially. It was crazy. Got any tips, Lindy?
No, I agree. Definitely priming's what helped me get on track. It stopped all the cravings. And then priming is not forever. Like it's just a short time to nourish your body. And then you can go into all the different other tools like your fasting and intermittent stuff. So definitely a great Kickstarter for your metabolism.
For sure. Pam, I'm on week 6, down 21 pounds. I'm tracking my macros. I freak myself out if I eat over my calories. Did either one of you track at the beginning? Yes, until I tanked my metabolism by tracking at the beginning. So for the first 7 months, I tracked my calories and my macros. And I'm not going to say that it's wrong or that it's even bad. I know that a lot of people say don't track your macros, don't track your calories. But for me, I was just kind of a spaz, and I was always, if I did something and I didn't see immediate results or have immediate feedback loop, then I would do something else. And so it helped me to kind of stabilize everything to track my macros. And long story short, I went from eating 3,200 calories a day, and I was eating basically at the time I was only eating about a 65-45 to 70-30 protein to fat ratio. And I was eating about 3,200 calories a day. And then I got down to 2,800 calories a day. And then I got down to 2,400 calories a day. And then every time I would stall, I'd drop my calories. And so then I got down to 22. And then pretty soon I was down to 1,700 calories a day, and I was doing OMADs. And that was 7 months into it. And yeah, up until that point, I'd lost like 200 pounds, or maybe, yeah, somewhere in that range of 200 pounds in that 7 months. But my metabolism crashed. It just tanked. And depression came back, anxiety came back. I couldn't sleep. miserable, fatigued, didn't have energy. Everything was bad. And then I white knuckled it for another 2.5 months. Did not lose another pound. Even I think I even cranked it down like the last 2 or 3 weeks to 1,400 calories a day. Didn't lose another pound. Would not budge. Could not lose weight to save my life. And that was when I finally listened to Lindy and joined the Steak and Butter Gang. And then I went and primed, and I went from eating like 14 to 1,700 calories a day, that last part, to eating over 7,000 calories a day. And I gained 21 pounds, but I lost 3 shirt sizes, and my eyes healed and my lymphatic system healed. My body looked so much better. My muscles grew. The 21 pounds I gained was muscle and bone density and, lean tissue. It wasn't fat. It was my body healing. And then I did that for 6.5 months, ate about 7,000 calories a day for 6.5 months. And then my body kind of got nutritionally, whatever, nutriently caught up, satiated. And then I was ready to fast. And now I've been fasting, dropped over another 100 pounds and through the fasting. And now everything's been beautiful, until this week when I over fasted and I started for a short period of time, about 30 hours, hurt my metabolism for a second. And that's why I said, whoa, I'm not doing that again. And now I'm repriming so that I can keep this going without hurting my metabolism.
Yeah. I didn't track at the beginning. I wanted to. I was being coached by Coach Emily and Coach Raymond, and I would say to them, how much protein, how much fat, tell me. And they'd say, no, just eat until you're comfortably stuffed and then stop. And it did my head in. I would finish my coaching calls crying because they didn't give me that magic number that I needed to lose weight. So it was really stressful at the start, and I don't think that helped, worrying about it. And it wasn't until I actually let go of all that and just trusted them and trusted the process and just ate and just let it all go that things started to happen, that it started to move, and I was a lot more relaxed about it. And now I still don't track, but the other day I actually thought I'm going to pop it into my Fitness Pal, what I ate for the day, and just see what happens. And I couldn't complete the day because I was under the calories for my, whatever. I did one of those TDD calendars and all that, calculators, and it won't let me complete the day. So I definitely know I'm under eating, and that's probably why I keep stalling. And that's just something that I've got to live with because I've got this lap band restriction and I physically can't get any more food down. So I'm literally on the borderline of going to the doctors to try and get this investigated to see if it is an option to get it removed because it is affecting my health, my progress. Sure. I can't eat meat, so that's on my list of things to do very soon.
All right. Well, that makes I can't wait to if you can get that thing out. I think you'd feel so much better.
Yeah, it's annoying me now because I've had a lot of stress of late, and that it gets worse, and I just haven't been able to eat any meat at all for the last week and a bit. Yeah. So I'm just living off on eggs at the moment, which gets down okay. But I just want to eat a steak. Sure. I want to eat steak and I can't. That's awful.
Man.
Yeah. I want a little spot in my garage too, but my garage needs this mama to get more mobile to sort it out without asking for help. Then I can make a space for me. Yeah, look, I'm 2 years, 9 months, and I'm only just thinking about my garage. There was no way I could have done it back then. And it's really just now that I'm really wanting to have that space to work out. Doing the vibration plate, which you're doing now, is a huge start. Soon you'll be able to stand on it, and that'll be your next step, and then maybe a rebounder down the track. But little steps, don't be in a rush. You've got to take your time and you will get there.
Absolutely, for sure. I mean, I was trying to think. I don't know. I was 17 or 18 months into it before I could do that garage, So definitely, it just takes time, but you'll get there for sure, Just one step in front of the other, and then you'll be there before you know it. Hey, DC. Hey, guys. What happened to Michael? Michael is not feeling well. He hurt his back, and it's kind of got him on painkillers and kind of up on blocks right now. So he's taking a few days off, and he's in our prayers, and we are praying for him to get better soon, and then he'll be back on with us.
Yeah, my daughter's doing okay. She's been declared legally blind now, so it's just a matter of finding supports for her, getting all that set up, and learning to live with her new life. So I've been helping her out a lot with her admin, trying to keep her business going, and yeah, it's just day at a time. Just lots to relearn and get systems into place. But she's very strong, very independent, and she's doing well. So thank you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Does Michael have a shake plate to help him with his legs? He does.
Yeah.
And he uses it as much as possible. But right now with his back injury, that's actually not an option right now because he's got a herniated disc or something. So he can't hardly breathe right now without having that that back pain that kind of stops you. So he's trying to get that figured out right now. So
my ex had lap band for many years until it damaged her insides when she had it removed. Yes, that's my fear. I've had mine in 27 years, and that's why I haven't gone into to look at it, because I'm scared that there's going to be scar tissue and they're going to wreck my insides if they try and take it out. But I'm struggling at the same time. So I just thought I'll go in, have a talk to them, see what the situation is inside, and then make an informed decision. But I'm scared to have it removed. I don't want to, but I also need to eat. So yeah, I don't know. It was supposed to cure me. It was supposed to fix all my problems, and it has just made a whole lot of new problems for me. Yeah. So anyway, if anyone's thinking of getting lap bands, say no. Try Carnivore. Definitely, that fixes your problems.
For sure. B-Dog's right. You're stronger now. All right. Let's see here. Oh, nice. She's doing isometric exercises. Good job. That's a good place to start.
Yeah, Lynn and I started a new challenge this month doing isometric exercises, and I sent the link to Mylwyn, so she's joining us too, but for all levels. It doesn't matter if you're like in a wheelchair. Like this woman does it with, I think, her 80-year-old mother. So she does the standing up version, and her mum's sitting on a little chair next to her doing them. So it caters for everybody. And yeah, if it's going to make us stronger, that's awesome.
For sure. Yes, they do, and I'm one of them. So I do swear by them. They work. They really work. Well, and now if you look, it's a trend, right? Not even for people with lymphatic problems or anything. If you look, a bunch of just regular people are using them for exercise, because like if you do planks on them, push-ups on them, squats, calf raises, they're good for warming up the muscle and creating blood flow. They're good for circulation like that, but also they're good for working out lactic acid after a workout. So if you sit there and you do a warm down or a cool down on those plates, it'll work out some lactic acid, so you won't be so sore and have a bunch of fluid in your joints and stuff. They're super handy. Maybe Dr. Hampton will make a house call to Michael. You know what? We might be asking him pretty soon. Stop
that
in.
would be awesome. Yeah.
Would
be so good.
Would be super cool.
Yeah.
Let's see here. The scale is stalled at 20 pounds down, but the inches are shrinking. I feel so good already 1 month down. Yeah, exactly. And listen, carnivore is not a weight loss diet. Carnivore is a healing diet. And when you heal, this is why it's so silly. Like, would you say, hey, let's put less building materials into this project to build this house and it'll be stronger and healthier? Like, nowhere else do you see anything like that. Nowhere else do you hold back building materials to try to make something better, right? it's only because we've associated poor health with what the scale says that we now try to make our body mass smaller to make us believe that we're healthier because we weigh less. And it's silly. I mean, yes, there's a correlation, but it's not a causation. Like the correlation is that fat is a parallel symptom to insulin resistant metabolic disease, and eating a bunch of poison, oxalates, and preservatives and seed oils and crap. So our body gains weight at the same time because it's trying to deal with it all and it's trying to keep it from poisoning us. But it's just a parallel symptom. It's not the catalyst for our disease. So the the scale is not what matters, right? The being healthy is what matters. And when you understand that we've been eating calorie empty, dense or completely empty, nutriently empty calories is what I'm trying to say. And we've been doing it over and over and over again with all the hyperpalatable processed carbohydrates. And we're not getting protein, fat, amino acids, collagens, all these things. When you finally realize that, yeah, you're putting on body fat, but you're also losing muscle, bone density, ligament, white tissue, right? And then when you start eating carnivore, it doesn't care about losing weight right away because it's hard to lose weight while you're gaining other tissue, but it will let go of it eventually. But at first, what happens is you are gaining muscle, you're gaining bone density, you're gaining white tissue. Your body is becoming healthier, which everybody calls these composition changes. And you're losing some fat and some inflammation and lymphatic fluid and things like that at the same time. But you're not seeing it as to the scale that, because muscle and bone is way more dense than fat. So you think that you're in a stall. That's what I thought all winter. But I was in a stall for 6 months, but I lost 3 shirt sizes while gaining weight. So who cares? And I got taller. And like I said, everything kind of corrected. My posture is better. Like my frame squared up. Like it was crazy. And I walked better. And when your frame squares up and you're stronger and you have all these stabilizer muscles and everything comes back together, now you can move better. You have balance. You can take big steps. You can climb things. You have all this range of motion back. So it's a way better deal. So I don't worry about the stall at all.
Yeah, you got your light back.
For sure. And so that's way bigger than anything that the scale is going to tell you, for sure.
Yeah.
So let's see here. On to the next one. Question. Hello, Lindy and Todd from Alberta, Canada. Do any of you live with a junk food junkie? I do, and I'm always around junk food. I'm doing really good, though. Any tips?
My husband, he's the dirty carnivore, I call him. He loves his iced coffees, he loves his chips, CC's, chocolate, but he's not allowed to bring them into the house. If he wants them, he can have them when he's at work, in his car. I don't care, as long as I don't have to sit on wrappers or anything, or we go out in my car, which is nice and clean. But yeah, no, I can't have it in the house. I don't want it in the house, and he respects that. So I'm not saying he can't eat it. And if we go out, he'll have his iced coffees and that's fine. My treat is my coffee. I'll have a coffee. I don't mind. But in the house, we don't bring garbage in here. So that's how I handle it. Yeah.
That's awesome. I don't anymore. So when I started carnivore, my mom was a junk food junkie of the worst sorts. But she's sick, she's got Parkinson's and she wasn't feeling good. So when this worked for me, she saw what happened with me. And so through much struggle at first, I had to do it. So the first, for the first 8 or so months of carnivore, yeah, the house was just a dumpster fire of junk food. I mean, mom had the worst sugar cravings, sugar addiction ever. So she would, like, literally, you go into the kitchen at any given time and there was a dozen of donuts, a dozen cake donuts, and then a dozen assorted donuts, and there's cheesecake, and there was chocolate cake, and there was, German chocolate cake, and just just crap everywhere. Cookies, vanilla wafers, pudding, cheesecake. I mean, just all the crap everywhere all the time. Plus ice cream in the fridge. You know, it was terrible. And uh, that's why I ended up staying out of the kitchen. I built, if you know my kind of backstory, I built a little little environment around me that was just my stuff because I couldn't move and I was sick and I couldn't breathe. So I built a little kitchenette around me so that I could reach everything, that I could get to everything. And I had a little mini fridge and I only put the food that I was eating. I never looked at the other stuff. However, after I got through that, through this, you know, that's what I say. I made my environment just carnivore. You know, my immediate environment that I saw and dealt with and lived with was carnivore. But also, not only was my surroundings just carnivore, but my everything that I was taking in, from the prayers that I was praying and the healing that I was seeking through faith and God, but also the content that I was watching was all carnivore. And through that, I learned that we were under attack, you know, and I learned that this attack had killed my brother, had killed my dad, had made my mom sick, had made me sick, had made my sister sick, had made my other brother sick. And so that turned my opinion on it. So then I stopped even considering it as an option. So now my mom is carnivore of her choosing. So there isn't anything there. But even when it's not, even when I'm around other stuff, it still isn't an option anymore because now, you know, I feel like it's, you know, when I look at that stuff, I'm like, oh no, this is the enemy that killed my brother. This is the enemy that killed my dad. So like, I don't, it's not a cutesy option. It's the enemy, you know? So I'm very serious about that. Like, that's really is the way that I look at it in my head. So I have, now it wouldn't matter. Now, if mom was to bring something into the house, I would throw it in the garbage because it would be just like, would you let an enemy into your house that's trying to kill your family? You know, like, no, you don't. Right? You're not gonna allow that in the house. And so I don't anymore. Now, mom did have a slight conniption about that when I was doing that at first because I was throwing away her stuff after a while. And then she gave me the what for and said, I'm 80 whatever years old. I get to make my own decisions, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay. And when I was in Texas, she did all that and she ate all the bad food. And then she got sick. Well, she got sick because she had been carnivore long enough and she didn't realize how much better she had felt. And so when she went off the rails when I was in Texas and ate all that garbage, when I came home, she was voluntarily carnivore, and I haven't had to say crap since because she got sick enough and got worried about it enough when I was gone that she hasn't brought anything back in the house. And so that's a victory in itself. So
Yeah. So I have a 21-year-old that lives here as well. And she doesn't do carnivore at all, and she does order pizza and stuff occasionally. She eats it in her room, and if she does bring anything into the house, it's always in her room. I mean, you can't help that. She's an adult. I can't say anything. She sees me, and she loves that I'm, doing well, but she doesn't feel like she needs to be carnivore. Doesn't want to be carnivore, and that's okay. I have to just lead by example. One day, hopefully, she'll turn around and join me. But either way, I just have to remember this is my journey. And the reason I'm carnivore is because I can't restrict, I can't moderate my food. I have that one piece of, pizza or a biscuit or something. I want the whole lot. So for me, that's dangerous. I need to just stay as strict as I can. And that's my journey. That's my lifestyle now. So you just got to remember it's your journey and why you're doing this. Remind yourself why you're doing it so you can stay on track and try not to let other people, bring you down.
for sure, 100%. Let's see here. Let's read that one.
I hope they put Michael in traction before laparoscopic disc trim. I blew my disc. Michael's at home. He's just resting up for now.
Yeah.
The doctors do come to visit him at home, and he'll be fine. We'll just keep praying for him and resting up, not doing anything silly.
For sure. That is a good rule. Don't let him bring don't let him bring the junk in the house, for sure. I lost an incredible amount of inflammation after starting carnivore. It was pleasantly surprising. That's awesome. I think that's so many things that come with carnivore that you're not expecting. You know, everybody gets on it to lose weight because we're all in that mindset at the time. But then you look back at it and go, oh, well, it's doing so much more, you know? Yeah. And Jim Carrey from Bruce Almighty's tone of voice, exactly. And the truth shall set you free. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I've stalled. I was stressing out about it. About it now, I have to look at how I feel first and be more mindful to put the pressure on myself,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's another vicious cycle. You worry about the scale and what that says and what you put in your mouth, and then your cortisol levels are raised. And when your cortisol levels are raised, you go to stall. You don't lose anything. So it's that vicious cycle. So you just need to let it go, trust the process, eat your meat, relax, prioritize your rest, do all the right things, and it will just happen when your body feels safe.
Right. And B Dog has a good point here. Stalls are when your body's healing, you know, it's when your body's rebuilding, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And this is a lifestyle. It's not a diet. This is for life. So we
For
just got to
sure.
take it. We got plenty of time for things to happen and to reach our goals. It's not a race.
For sure. Granddaughter was born early by emergency C-section. Kind of stressful. I noticed. I wanted junk to soothe my nerves. She's beautiful. My daughter's doing well. No cheats. Thank you, Lord. Absolutely.
Oh, congratulations. That's
Very good.
huge.
That
That's
is
huge. Yeah.
very, very good.
I wish my grandsons would go carnivore. It's hard to have a solution to their health issues that they just don't want to try, but at least they know about it. Exactly. You just got to lead by example. Yeah, both my daughters have got health issues and neither one want to do carnivore. I've sent them videos about their conditions, testimonials from people that have helped heal or, repair damage, and they're just not, oh, that's not me, mum. I don't have 500 pounds to lose. And they just don't get it. I'm just like,
No.
but one day the seed's planted, and, my oldest, she's more meat based now. She still has a few things slip in, but, it's hard work. I still struggle daily. So,
For sure.
I get it, but they'll come round.
100%. Hey, there's Tim. Hey, Tim. Grounding
Hi,
has helped me
Tim.
reduce inflammation for me. Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to some sunshine and blue sky so I can get out. It's too cold right now.
For sure.
Hating the winter.
That's awesome.
I jokingly said to my husband, we need to move to Queensland because I just can't handle the heat. And he agreed. But both my girls said, no way. So,
Right?
yeah. I realized today that I no longer have floaters in my eyes. Just another unexpected benefit of carnivore. Oh, that's awesome.
100%. I have just a couple. So I had so many floaters. The floaters were unreal. And I keep waiting for the last ones to go away. I always have like one or two tiny little floaters. But yeah, they're 99.9% gone. I used to have, I mean, it felt like 50 plus floaters in each eye. It was so crazy. And now I'm down to like between the two eyes, maybe three small ones. Trying to count right now, but it's not bad. It's so much better, isn't it?
What kind of electrolytes are best to take?
Man, I don't even know anymore. I don't take electrolytes anymore. I used to, but I don't need them anymore. But when I was doing them, I was doing the Dr. Berg ones for a long period of time. But then I really got to where I couldn't take any of the sweet flavored taste at all. Like I just couldn't stand it. and his has some of the stevia or whatever in it, you know. And that was the only sweetener I'd ever have was when I would have that, and I stopped that because I just couldn't take. I didn't like the taste. I never liked the taste, but I did it because you had a good electrolyte. And then from there, I just stopped taking all electrolytes because I haven't needed them. However, from what I hear, the LMNT has a non-sweetened flavor, just like a plain.
They
That's
do have a raw version.
yeah.
Yeah. But they are very expensive, and they to deliver to Australia, it's even worse. So I don't know where you're located, but the Carnivore Odyssey, Mywin, she's in the chat now, and she's going to listen to me. I know she's going to be doing a video on electrolytes. She actually buys all the electrolytes separately and makes them herself, and it's really, really cheap compared to buying like the packets. So I think she's going to do a video. She did mention it once, so that might just put a little rocket under her bottom to to get that going. So yeah, if I don't know if she wants to post her ingredients there or do a video, but check out the Carnivore Odyssey. I think she does talk about it in a couple of her videos.
Speaking of which, oh, and you sent me a link on. Okay, I'll check it out when I get done and let you know. B Dog, she uses Elementi twice a month.
Yeah.
Unflavored, nice. But yeah, I mean, it is kind of funny, right? There's all these things. This is why it truly is an N equals 1, because it really, it very much matters. It very much matters where you are at on your own, on your own progress or journey or whatever you want to call it, right? Because I heard all these things at first that I thought were insane, and now I get it because I'm there. And so these things that we say might not ring true to you at all because you're not there yet, and things maybe you'll just be different too. Maybe people are just different. But I heard from all these people that you don't need supplements. And I was taking a ton of supplements when I first started, and I thought I needed all of them, and they were right. I don't. Including electrolytes. I relied heavily on electrolytes. No, I don't take any electrolytes. I do take some supplements. I still take amino acids because I feel that I get something out of them. I take creatine when I'm lifting because I feel like it's just a quicker source of, to replenish what I used up and to heal the muscle. And the biggest thing that I would not go without is iodine. My iodine is 100% a must for me. However, I did stop taking all electrolytes. And when I did that, I also stopped having calf cramps. So I was taking them every time I was having calf cramps. And then I found out you can actually cause calf cramps by taking too many electrolytes, right?
Oh,
So
interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
don't have calf cramps anymore. Number two, I don't salt anything anymore. And I used to all the time. And I didn't think there would ever be a day that I wouldn't salt something, but I lost my taste for salt. And so now I don't salt anything, which is pretty crazy. But they're right. I don't need it. And I even tried maybe 8 months ago to do 90 days of lion diet with no salt. And I only made it like 2 weeks with the no salt. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. That sucks. And sure enough, now, just like it happened to Chafee, I just lost my taste for salt. And now I just eat meat. Like it's salty enough. Very, very strange. I didn't see it coming. But those things actually do happen. And all that I can tell you is I feel like as our bodies get healthier and our bodies self-regulate and our hormones self-regulate and our brain's chemistry heals itself and our gut microbiome gets healthy, all of a sudden it's need for resources. And I mean, we're also eating for the first time ever, we're eating a nutrient, dense diet. So we have all this building blocks and all this material efficient diet. I think we just finally get satiated on all the stuff we were lacking for so long. And our body heals and balances out, and then we just don't require it. We were just in a deficit for so long. So I'm not saying that any of those things are bad for you at first. I'm just saying that they're not necessary for forever. And also, I see Tim in here I see Tim in here too. He sent me a question the other day and asked me if I had ever used the shake plate for calf cramps. And yes, that is like a pro tip. If you wake up in the night and you're having one of those cramps you can't get rid of, hop on that vibration plate, and that thing is a absolute game changer. It'll get rid of,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've had a couple of days where I've been at the shop or at the market, and that night my legs are so bad, both of them are cramping in bed, that I'm in tears and I can't even get out of bed to walk, and I jump on the vibration plate and that just gets rid of those cramps. They were awful, but it's happened twice now where I thought I just wanted to chop my legs off. It was so bad.
Right. Right.
Yeah, it's around my ankles. It was really bad. So yeah, the vibration plate's just magic.
Yeah. Honestly, the biggest thing, so I don't know what I need from amino acids. Amino acids, you can get plenty of amino acids out of meat. But the reason why is when there's several doctors, I forget the name of that video, but they do amino acid therapy. And basically, long story short, is that I felt like I was so deficient in amino acids, and also the metabolic process in my body maybe had a hard time, wasn't super efficient at turning meat into amino acids. So I took amino acids at a high, like a lot of them for a long time. And and all of a sudden I started moving more fluid and my lymphatic system started healing up. My eyes healed up a little bit. Things started happening. One of the biggest things that happened was my digestion improved quite a bit. And if you've ever had amino acids, they taste like stomach bile, right? And so there's some sort of acid in there that's the same as your stomach bile. So it helped me start digesting large quantities of meat in about half the time. And I started processing and digesting more of that meat. And so now they're just a keeper for me. I don't know. I might not still need them, but I feel that I do. And I also feel that, I only take them when I'm not fasting now, because when I take them when I am fasting, they make me extremely hungry. But I feel like that's a good sign. I use them for a hack if I ever get meat aversion, or if my appetite is going down. I take amino acids because it'll boost my appetite and it'll make me eat more. So I like that. I like it when I'm trying to eat hard in between fasts to get a reprime in. That helps me put down a serious amount of meat, and it also helps me digest a serious amount of meat, which is what I was telling. Dang it, I forgot his name. Who was the guy telling me to do the sauna? Forgive me. This is my
Is
fast.
that Mike?
I think it was Mike.
Mike Fiasco?
Yeah, I think so. My brain is not working today, but like I was telling Mike earlier, that I'm trying to play both sides of the fence here. I'm trying to put on muscle and put on lean body mass as much as I can, while also going into autophagy and mitophagy to heal. And those two things are kind of opposed to each other, right? Because one of them is going to eat proteins and the other one's going to put proteins on. So I use the amino acids to help me try to put as much protein on and muscle on as I can when I am eating.
Yeah, and I found taking the aminos, that was helping me go to the toilet a lot more, move the fluid. Through the day, I seem to just retain the fluid. I barely go at all to the toilet through the day, and then at night time, I have to get up 3 or 4 times. But if I'm on the amino acids, I go throughout the day, and then I can sleep all night. So it does help with my lymphatics and regulating all of that. I've got them here, but I forget to take them.
Right?
I might have to start. I might do that after this.
For sure. Question: why would someone like me need iodine? Well, I don't know. Here's what gave. So I listen. I think it's again an N equals 1 for everybody, but for me, what put me onto iodine was when I listened to Ken Berry and Dr. Brownstein had a podcast or a video together, and he was saying that pretty much everybody was massively underdiagnosed with or underdosed and underdiagnosed of iodine deficiency. So that raised my my raised some flags for me. But then when he was at the time, every time that I would fast, one, I was in a stall. Two, every time I would fast, I would lose my voice. Remember how much I was losing my voice back then when I was fasting? I'd be
Yeah,
so hoarse. And
very.
something in my throat here was tightening up every time I'd fast. And it got so bad that when I would lay down at night, I would get a Charlie horse in my throat muscles behind my Adam's apple. And it did not feel good at all. And he had talked about those being some symptomatic signs of a goiter, and a goiter being 110% a iodine deficiency, problem. So I went all in on the iodine thing, and it's the closest thing to a miracle drug, miracle pill, whatever you want to say, that I've ever experienced. I mean, it was just like as soon as I started taking it in high doses and really high doses, it was like I was seeing in color again. Like I'd been seeing the world in black and white, and I could see it in color. And I started popping out of bed in the morning and didn't have any fatigue in the morning. Started sleeping better. Stopped biphasic sleeping patterns. Just stamina, muscle, like the fatigue in my legs and stuff went away over just like a week's period of time. And still to this day, if I don't take it, I mean, I'm butt dragging tired. Like I feel like I'm running on a dead battery or something uh, without taking it. So I recommend everybody try it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't find it helps me at all. Remember, we did like a test on the live stream, all three of us with Michael, and we did the little patch test on our hands.
Yeah.
And your brown patch disappeared within seconds, and me and Michael had to wash ours off the next day because it was
Right.
still there.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't think, I don't know. When I talked to Barry, he said that patch test isn't necessarily super accurate, which fair
But
enough.
it's
But
yeah,
also it's funny that you guys don't really feel the amazing difference that I feel. And my skin absorbs it like in 10 minutes,
yeah,
it's gone, and your guys's didn't. So there's something there for sure. I mean, I'm sure it's not nonsense,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
for sure. That's awesome, Tim. Lion diet is pretty fantastic for a lot of people. Here we go. What is the difference between lion diet and a regular carnivore diet? So, carnivore is just animal based, where lion diet is just ruminant animals, salt, and water.
No eggs, no butter.
Nope.
But I struggled with the lion diet because it's too low in fat, and I didn't realize I could have beef tallow. So I would like to give it another try and try with some beef tallow. Yeah, but I need the egg yolks and that to lubricate my meat so it will go down when it does go down. So
Yeah, I need the egg yolks for testosterone for the DHEA. So, I mean,
mm,
if it wasn't for the egg yolks, I would be lying. I mean, I really only, right now, for the last 9 weeks, I've only had beef, water, and egg yolks. So,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
if it wasn't for the egg yolks, I would be lying, you know?
Yeah, I'm funny with pork. It makes me feel unwell, and I don't
Yeah.
eat chicken because I'm a crazy bird lady, and I can't eat birds in front of my birds. It just seems wrong. So I'm pretty much eating just ruminant. Oh, I do love my fish. We do have salmon once a week, and that's easy to get down. So, um, but yeah, otherwise I'm pretty would like to be lying, but if you
For
don't
sure.
have to be that strict, you don't need to. It's not it's everybody's different. You've got to do what you need for your journey.
For sure. I'm new to carnivore info. How do you take iodine? So I get them. This is the J. Crow's Lugol's 5% iodine, and it just comes with a dropper. And so I just take this dropper, I fill it up with 20 drops, which everybody's going to tell you is way too much and is a massive amount. And they all might be true, but it works for me. So that's what I'm doing. And that was the kind of the recommended dose from Dr. Brownstein. But you have to work up to that. But however you decide, it's all individual. So however you decide how much you need. But I do 20 drops, and I just put it in about that much water in a glass, swish it around, and I chug it. It's not very pleasant, but it goes down quick, and all is good. So how about you, Lindy? Do you use any iodine yet?
I do have some, but I've had it for over a year now. when all the talk about iodine was happening, and I just squeeze it a little bit on my steak every now and then if I have it. But once a month, once every 2 months, whenever I remember. I don't have it daily. I don't feel any different if I do. Like I feel fine, so I don't think I need it.
Hi, Jazzy Jed. Absolutely. Here's a question from him. Todd, how did you feel on the lesser dosage? Did energy increase incrementally? Yeah, I mean, honestly, when I first got iodine, I didn't really think it was doing anything, but I was on 2% instead of 5%, and I was taking like whatever the bottle said, which was like 3 drops, and I was kind of like, meh. And then I watched that program, and I went from the 2% to get 50 milligrams. I think I had to take 50. I had to take 50 drops on the 2%. So I went from like 3 drops to immediately I went to like 12 drops, and then I went to 24, and then I went to like 50 after that. And by the time I got to 24, I was feeling it a lot different. When I got to 50, it was just like the lights were coming on, like color was coming back. I think that actually happened at 24. I started feeling the difference. Yeah, it did. When I was at 24 drops, it was like the lights were coming on, the color was coming back and everything. And then when I got to 50, it was just day and night difference. And now it does not fail. I crave it in the morning like I crave my coffee, what's really tough is taking it on a dry fast, because I don't even put it in water. I just take a whole dropper and I put it in my mouth, and it burns
Yeah, it
the back of my
tastes
throat.
pretty bad.
It's rough. It is rough to
Yeah.
take it straight. Oof.
If you do have it, like I put it on my steak, I don't even taste it. Or I think someone mentioned in the chat they add it to their coffee and you can't taste it that way.
Let's see here. You can read that while I'm digging through.
Barkay reckons what I do, absorb it through my skin, is a fine way to take it. I can tell when I don't need so much because it ends up taking 2 hours or more to absorb. Yeah. That's what Michael and I, it just stayed on our skin. It didn't absorb it all, whereas Todd's it sucked it right in.
It did. My body was wanting it for sure. And sure enough, that's one of the other things too. As soon as I started taking it, that hoarse throat went away. That, I didn't get that crap in my throat anymore. I mean, it's crazy. Let's see here. Have you both taken MCT oil? So I did when I was keto, but I have not on carnivore. However, interesting factoid is that on carnivore, I started craving for a long while vinegar. And I didn't know why, but I was on a vinegar kick, and I still like vinegar, and vinegar is still in my options on carnivore. I'll never take it out. However, I wasn't until Leslie and Keith got on here that she explained why, and that's because vinegar too is a short chain. Well, vinegar is a short chain fatty acid, where MCT oil is a medium chain triglyceride. But so MCT oil is a medium chain fatty acid, and vinegar is a short chain fatty acid. But I don't know why I always craved vinegar. I thought it was for digestion. Maybe it is, but I think also it might have been because it was priming, it was replacing ketones in your liver, because those short chain and medium chain triglycerides, fatty acids, bypass the normal chain, and it goes right into your bloodstream to your liver and produces ketones in your liver. So I think that's what was happening, because that helps you monitor your blood sugar. I mean, it helps you with brain energy. I mean, all sorts of things. It can my fast brain is not working too well today. It can transcend or whatever the blood brain barrier in the brain. So it's good brain food. So I do believe that there's a benefit to those things. However, I don't believe in getting oils from seeds or plants, and that's why I don't do them, because they generally come from coconuts or avocados, or usually coconuts. Coconut MCT oil is usually the most popular. So where I feel like if you have fermented foods like vinegar, it and this is what the Asians and even the Indians knew why they have so many, and Germans had so many fermented foods, because they know that protects them from the oxalates, right? And those plant toxins. So I prefer vinegar if I'm going to do that.
Yeah. I've actually got MCT oil. I don't ingest it, but I do mouth pulling because I had very bad periodontal disease. I spent like $6,000 trying to get my teeth fixed. And so I want to take care of them. So I've heard that mouth pulling is really good. So just for 10 minutes, I just swish, a mouthful of MCT oil and then spit it out. And it just helps with my gums healing there, and yeah, tries to hopefully whiten my teeth. But I hear a lot of people do the mouth pulling, and that's been quite good for their teeth. So that's all I use it for. But yeah, I don't eat it or drink it.
Oh, nice.
Mm.
All right. I think we caught up on the questions. You guys need to get more talkative. There we go, just in time.
Finally made it to the show. Sadly not able to stay long. You have so much great info to share. Thank you for that. Oh, thanks, Laurie.
Hi, Lori. Todd Bart K's idea for taking iodine sounds like an option for dry fasting days.
Yeah.
For sure. I might have to try it, because I'll tell you what.
Why don't you? Have you had it already? I was going to say, put some on your skin and see how fast it absorbs.
I will. It'll be interesting, because I haven't done that little trick in a while.
Yeah, I don't have mine with me, but
I have to find.
It didn't take long for it to absorb last time.
Now let's give it a shot. That bottle I grabbed earlier was empty. I was like, "Where's my full one?"
Here we go.
We'll give it a shot here. So, I say put 3 drops on your skin.
Swish it around.
Yeah, I like that. All right. All right, everybody can see it.
Watch this space.
All right. We'll see. All right. What time is it? So it's basically 10 minutes
10.
of.
Yeah, 10 to 11 here.
And just for the note of it, so we'll leave that just like that, and we'll see what happens here. All right, a little live test on the air.
More talkative. How long you got? Mitochondria, fat adaptation, adaptation, and cortisol. Yeah. She's got lots of questions. Yeah, we all do, don't we? And you learn so much, and it is information overload, but just keep it simple.
Keep it coming. If I'm either going to give you a good answer, or you're going to be a little bit stupider for listening to me. But bring it on. I'm not scared to pontificate.
Has anyone had iron staining on their legs? I wonder if it will disappear on Carnivore.
Iron staining. What is that? I'm not sure what that is.
No, I've got discoloration on my legs because of, I guess, lymphedema and bad circulation. My legs were turning purple and all sorts of weird colors, and that's fading. I still have the discoloration there, but it's not as bad. I don't know if that's different than iron staining.
Yeah, I would like to know what that is too. So my legs were as jacked up could be. I was literally buying what basically looked like a little Dremel tool to try to sand off the hard skin. I mean, if you ever got like a pig ear or a dried piece of rawhide for your dog to chew on, and you smacked it on the floor, that's what my skin on my legs sounded like, on the whole, from knee to ankle, from one side of the calf to the other. It was just dry, dead skin for about a 1/4 inch of rawhide thick. And I could not feel anything. I could not get it off of there. And so it was discolored and everything. And but all that has completely healed. by healing up the lymphatic system and doing this fasting. So I don't know what iron staining would be, but if I had a lot of different
Here we
discoloration.
go. The doctor told me it's iron staining, a lot of small brown spots that are patchy.
Oh no, I didn't have any of those.
No, yeah, my legs are just purple.
Right?
I do have, I think it's more a birthmark though, on the back of my leg, and my mum used to call it a Coca-Cola spot because when she was pregnant with me, she doesn't drink Coke, but she had cravings for Coca-Cola.
Wow.
And so I've got so I think it's a birthmark, but it's like a Coca-Cola stain, and that is the only part of my body that will actually tan, which is super weird. The rest of me burns.
That's funny.
So I call it my Coca-Cola stain now because of my mum. So
That's awesome.
oh, the vibration plate. Oh, what is it? Easy something or other. I'll see if I can find a link. Unless Maya, when do you know what it is? We can't get Life Pro here and Everfit vibration.
Is Lori in Australia?
I don't know, but you have a Life Pro, don't you?
Yeah, I'll show you mine. Mine is let's see if I can get it. Mine is this one right here, and it's a Life Pro. This is what it looks like. That's what their little logo looks like. And I forget what model it is, but it's Life Pro. But it's the one that vibrates in 6 different directions, whichever one that is. But that one I definitely prefer. But that's what it looks like when you're looking for it. They have them in black and blue, and they have these 5 little round circles on them. They're kind of octagon.
What do the circles mean? Is that just a decoration, or is it?
No, when I forget, I don't use them, but with the circles have little symbols on them. So if you follow, they comes with a little pamphlet that you can do different exercises on there, and those spots are kind of where you're supposed to put your hands or something. You know?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if Life Pro are listening, I'd love a Life Pro.
Right. Send it to. Whoop, I should
Australia.
I should probably stop sharing the screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Life Pro. Wink, wink. Hint, hint.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I love vinegar, but what do you put it in? Oh, I mean, shoot. First of all, it goes great in a pot roast, right? So, like if you're making a gravy, vinegar helps emulsify fat, and so it helps emulsify the fat to the broth that you put in there. So if you like put bone broth and then the fat renders out of like a chuck roast, helps emulsify those two, so it's not just fat floating on top of the broth. And then it gives it this awesome zingy flavor to it. Vinegar goes great on any beef. It just gives it a kind of a little kick to it. Also, you don't just have to eat straight up vinegar. You can get like I like to. One of the ways I get vinegar, or used to, I don't much anymore, but I used to. But my tastes have changed. But when my body was craving vinegar, I'd use Tabasco, because Tabasco is just salt, vinegar, and a little bit of cayenne pepper. And so I put Tabasco sauce on my eggs and stuff, and I would get a bunch of vinegar that way. Sometimes I'd just do a shot of it. Sometimes I would put it in a glass and I'd dip my steak chunks right in apple cider vinegar. I mean, so many ways you can do it, but I would often use it as a broth or a tenderizer, and I would spice it up with that, or do hot sauces that are vinegar based, like Tabasco mainly. So
yeah, I've been enjoying the Tabasco every now and then. Just pop a few drops on my steak and have it, or even mix it in with a bit of beef tallow and then use that as a mayonnaise and eat my meat that way.
It's tasty,
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Let's see. Did I miss anything yet?
What's that mean? Did you just flash a Todd? What did you do?
I totally did flash this. I totally did. I was like, holy crap, I just put my shirtless picture up there. That's why I was like, I was closing pictures and one of my pictures popped up.
And that's for his OnlyFans page. You don't need to see that.
It should be. Here, I'll show everybody what they missed, because it's not much. But this was I was making this point. I was making this point the other day because this was the only time in my life that I got quasi muscular. Where did it go? I don't even. Oh, there we go. I got quasi muscular once in my life, and this was the point to. Sorry, this was the point to. There we go. This was the point to sprinting because I wasn't lifting. And this was when, and I was miserable in this picture. I was absolutely miserable. I was 24 or 26 in this picture, but I'd lost 300 pounds. It was the first time I lost 300 pounds in my life, but I did it because I basically didn't eat for 17 months. I ate 1,000 calories every 3 days for 17 months is what I did. And those calories were basically in a creatine powder that I would drink, you know? So I was basically drinking 1,000 calories of creatine powder once a week or twice a week, every 3 days. And I did that for 17 months. And this me wanted to eat a bullet. But this when I was playing softball, I dropped 300 pounds. What was crazy was I got really muscular because I was sprinting and I had growth hormones. And so that's why I'm doing the sprinting again, because I remembered that I wasn't lifting weights when I did this, and my shoulders and my chest and my traps got huge just from sprinting. So that is one of my little pictures that I keep and remember that I can get that back if I sprint and stay the course. So that's what that was about. But yeah, I didn't mean to flash you guys when I was closing my windows. Oh, that's hilarious though. Let's see here.
Did you want to drop a link in the chat for anyone that wants to come and say hello? Or
sure. If anybody's out there that wants to say howdy, we will drop a link in the chat.
Did you want to do it or want me?
I'm pulling it up now. Sorry, I was closing some windows. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Trying to okay, stop sharing.
I can do it if you like.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to get to it, but my sharing button was covering it. So if you want to throw it in there, that'd be perfect.
There we go.
There we go. Anybody wants to hop on, but yeah, or definitely ask questions. There we go.
I fermented some jalapenos the other day. Haven't tried them yet. 2 jars, 1 green, and the other jalapenos to test if they're your favorite, aren't they? Do you still have them?
Oh yeah, I haven't been eating them, but I have several jars in there. But I just get so mental sometimes, right? When I'm doing something and it starts working, so I tighten it up a little bit more, and it starts working, so I tighten it up a little bit more. And that's kind of where I've gotten with this fasting and eating hard, because I'm so concentrated on getting down the yolks, getting down 54 yolks a day, that I don't want to take up any room, anything, even extra curricular jalapenos and stuff. And I don't need them right now because I have the appetite from fasting. So that's the only reason. I didn't purposely cut anything out of my diet. I didn't go, I'm just going to cut this out. It's just that now when I am eating, because I am fasting so hard, when I am eating, I'm like, I'm going to get down meat and egg yolks. And so I almost don't want to take up any room with anything else. You know what I mean? So, hey, there she is. Hey, Marywyn.
Hey.
Hello. You knew I was going to turn up at the front of the footlights, dear.
For sure. Yeah, Ash, you are 100% right. Michael would have been all over that. Before I knew it, he would have had a bra on that picture and the whole 9 yards. It would have been ugly.
Oh, it would have been bad. Real bad.
It would have went south in a hurry.
So you have to take me as I am. I've got the mad scientist hair, which you get for free. You're welcome.
Do you remember Doc from Back to the Future?
Yes. I have to keep remembering at this point that I am a lady.
We do know that now for sure. For a second, I thought this here was a stick up, but now she surprised us in Texas in the parking lot. Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, there's Missy. Love you both for going to bed. Long
Night,
day at work today.
Missy.
Praying for Michael. Thanks so much, Missy. Have a
Yeah.
good night. Thank you for coming in. Yeah,
So
that was
ask us your questions, Marvin. You said you had a bunch of questions. Be specific.
Oh, crack. Well, I've been saying for months that stress is kind of not helping me here at home. I've been saying it, but having done some research on things like mitochondria, fat adaptation, cortisol levels, I'm now starting to understand exactly what that stress is really doing. It's almost like as quickly as I can put the meat into my gob, it's not even digesting properly. It's because of the stress.
Mhm,
It's almost like you take a step forward and you're taking 2 steps back,
for sure.
you know? And like I've already announced on my channel today, I'm not doing a weigh-in today. I'm just not doing it. Just not doing it. Because I need time out. I need time out because I've got a lot going on here at home. And it's very, very stressful. And everybody has their limit, you know, and I've just got to try and find a way. I don't know how. I've got to find a way of rising above this stress so that I can get on with my health journey here. Because as I've said at the start, what I'm doing, this carnivore lifestyle, hasn't got anything to do with anybody. This is for me.
Right.
But I have to find a way of not letting the external factors usurp what I'm doing.
For sure.
Because it's affecting my health. It is affecting my health. And I've never been so aware of it as I have been whilst being on this lifestyle. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I mean, it's just a case of trying to manage that stress and rising above it, short of walking out the front door. I mean, I even said to my husband this week, I said, you know what? Remember in the old days you used to go to a health farm? They were onto something. You go somewhere to get some kind of semblance of health, but you take yourself out of the stressful situation in order to do it. They were definitely onto something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's where I'm at.
I do think you should just I did set you some homework a little while ago. Maybe you should do that.
I know. I think it's time, dear. I think it's time.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling the legs, like, you know, I've got the pain in the legs from doing the isometric exercises, but I'm liking the different pain.
Yes.
It's different pain. I'll take different. Different's good. Yeah. But, you know, I think once that happens, then, yeah, I'm probably going to go into the car and, you know, just disappear for an hour or two.
Yeah, just go and find a nice little park somewhere with a nice view, and you don't even have to get out of the car. It just gets you out of the house and just chill in your own little space. You've got no outside influences to, you know, turn your phone off too. You know,
I'm not falling into that trap. Turn it off.
But it's hard at home when you've got family and people walking in and out, and everyone's like, "Mum, mum, mum," and it's like, no, I need time out. You need to get out of the house. It's the only way you're going to get it. And you can't
absolutely.
So just go for a drive.
Well, you know, there's going to be probably on Friday. I'm hoping Friday, because I'm the right weight now for any given scooter in a shopping centre in the area. I have to go up to the bank to get put onto the joint account. So that's going to be a bit of an outing for me as well. And, you know, I have to have my husband with me for that, obviously, because he's on the account. But, yeah, not only just getting out to be on my own for a bit in the car, just getting out.
Yeah. And each time you step out of that comfort zone and do those little things, it just gives you that boost. You're wanting more.
Yeah.
And yeah, you feel so good about doing it. And it will give you that little bit of more independence and not being so dependent on people at
Now
home.
there's a good idea, B-Dog. Didn't think of that. See, you can trust the carnivore community to think on different levels.
For sure.
Noted. Definitely noted.
Did you screenshot that and just pop it on your?
You should. Stink.
You could throw it. Yep, I'll screen cap that.
Done. I'll send it to you later.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and as far as getting rid of the stress, the scale's got to be the first thing to go. So, I mean, I'm 22 months into it, and yeah, I know how much I've lost and I know what I weigh, but I only weigh now when I'm fasting because it does not like weighing more than like once a month when you're priming and when you're eating doesn't even make sense, right? Like as soon as I get off of a fast, I'm gonna gain 14 pounds.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so who cares, right? And then depending on the day, whether I've moved a bunch of fluid, whether I got my lymphatic system moving, you know, how much food I've digested, you know, how much food I've cleared out of my body, all these numbers are going to vary by pounds, you know, not just a pound or two, but by pounds, you know?
Yeah.
And this is why the fasting's working so well to heal my legs, because the matrix that I look at now are so funny. But I used to look at how much weight I would lose when I was fasting and all this stuff. Well, I used to lose and gain about 32 pounds when I was fasting and when I would get off of a fast because I had so much fluid that I could move 32 pounds in a 24-hour period. Or, you know, I've lost 32 pounds and peed it out in 24 hours before. But now I only fluctuate 14 pounds. So that's a matrix that I'm watching, because that means that reservoir, those camel bags of calves that I have, that reservoir is actually healing and getting smaller. So I don't hold as much fluid anymore that I used to.
Yeah.
But you know, like this fast that I just broke after 6 days, I only lost a net negative of 2.8 pounds. But I moved 2.8, so 16.7. So I moved 17.6 pounds, but that first 14.4 was what I gained back. So I only go to my last lowest for my last fast.
Oh, okay.
I go from that number, and then what's below it is the net negative. Everything else was just fluid and nonsense, right? So that's why I only measure when I'm fasting, because that's the only true number I can actually get. Everything else is just, you know, up and down. And so you're going to have to play averages over. So it's like, it'll drive you crazy if you try to, what I'm saying is it'll drive you nuts if you look at
well,
that.
I'm already nuts.
Well, you don't need to feed the troll.
Well, you're not wrong. No, well, today, like this is 36 weeks I've been doing this. So this morning was the first morning that I actually got as far as the kitchen. I'm like, oh, I haven't weighed in.
Right.
So I had a choice. I wheeled myself back in to the bathroom and weighed myself and did the whole shebang, or I acknowledged the fact that I need a week off. I chose the week off. So I'm not measuring. I'm not looking at the scales this week. I'm just not doing it.
Right.
Good.
Right. And you shouldn't, you know, because there's no sense in it. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here. I used to look at it too, get mad, and I'd be like, you know, I'm throwing this dang thing in the garbage, and then I'd be on it, you know, 24 hours later. But now I really have given up on it. When I'm not fasting, I don't even bother looking at it because it's pointless to me.
Yeah.
And so I just don't care. But take the pictures, take the measurements, and then feel how you feel in your clothes, feel how you feel getting around. Do you get around easier? Do you feel lighter on your feet? Those are the true testament,
I need some pretty big feathers on my feet to move around quick and lighter on my feet.
It's coming. It's coming.
No, but I will take the pictures. I will at least do that. But the scales, like I said, it's the first time in 36 weeks that I just completely bypassed that process at all. Like,
for sure.
I'm like, okay, well, that's it then.
Yeah, exactly. Put that scale in the closet for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. That's where it's got to go. Let's see. B-Dog says, do I have chickens? So, yes, I bought chickens. My sister has them with her chickens. I think.
Fresh eggs.
Yeah, they're good. But here's the problem. The problem. So I have 20 chickens. Okay. So that will make roughly, I'll get roughly 60 eggs a month out of them, roughly.
They've got to be happy chickens too, don't they?
Right. Or no, sorry. I might even get 300. Sorry. What is 600 maybe? 20.
That's a lot of eggs.
30. Yeah. So 600 eggs, maybe I'll get out of them, but not really. I really probably get about 450 out of them. But I eat 54 eggs a day when I'm eating. So 54.
You're going to start coughing up feathers,
30.
mate.
So I need 1,620 eggs a month. So my chickens are underproducing by about 1,170 eggs a month. So I buy the 5 dozen flats at Costco of the Wilcox eggs, and I buy them 30 dozen at a time. And then I bring those home because I drink 54 egg yolks a day. I don't do the whites. I throw those out, but I drink 54 egg yolks a day. Now
I just feel sorry for the poor chickens. You're throwing all those whites out.
I know.
There must be a use for them.
There should be. I should make protein powder out of it or something to hydrate them. But, I'm trying to get my traps back. So I need the protein.
Beefcake.
Right. I want my traps back. Do you find that you're always tweaking your food intake? I find this is a way of eating takes practice, trial and error. Yeah, I am all the time. And that's what I said. This is why I love the freedom of carnivore, because I know, like, literally, I almost feel bad when people say, how do you do carnivore? And then I tell them how to do carnivore. And then they're like, well, give me an example. Like, what did you eat today? And I'm like, well, today is not a good example of what I ate today, because I'm either going to tell you that I haven't eaten in 7 days, or I'm going to tell you that I ate 54 raw egg yolks and 4 pounds of food. So it's like, it's not like today's not a good day. You shouldn't ask me what I'm doing today, because I know that I'm doing some crazy stuff today. But what I did to get here, to be able to do this with ease and not have any addictions and to pull myself out of that, that's what's really important. And then you can take it wherever you want to take it. But I didn't have to get here. This is just my craziness of wanting to see how efficient I can make it and see how good I can feel and see how much I can heal up. So, but that's my personality of always going overboard on everything. That has nothing to do with what you have to do with carnivore, So I'm always tweaking it, and I don't have anything against the pickled jalapenos or the bacon or the cheese and all that stuff. It's all great, but I just feel better on raw egg yolks and beef, and that's what I get the most progress out of. That's what I build the most muscle on. That's what heals up the most lymphatic tissue, and that's how it gives me the most energy and just like feel good every day. It makes you feel like superhuman,
Mm.
There you go, Lindy.
I've been on this journey for 18 months, and you three have helped me so much. Thank you for being so raw with the emotional part of it. Oh, you're welcome, Carol.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you get tears and all on my channel. Ooh. I don't have time to be anything I'm not. I can't do it. I'm not going to pretend things are roses and rainbows when they're not. I'm not doing that. That to me, I have to be as authentic as I can be.
For
yeah.
Sure.
You're keeping it real. We all are.
Yep.
We weren't going to hide that. That was comedy gold, B-Dog. We were going to put that out there for sure.
No, and I love your measure and weight stuff, but you can wait till January or whatever, once a month, whatever you want. The body has to heal.
100%.
Yeah.
I'll still take the photographs. I will still take them, if nothing else, for my documentation. There's nothing wrong with me doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, those chickens should join a union, because right now I'm whipping. They're the little slaves for sure. Right? So, yeah, they drew bad for sure. No, they can't keep up, and honestly, I in the winter they don't keep up anyhow. So, yeah, I would have to get a lot more chickens, and I finally. What the chickens did for me is it showed me exactly the difference between bad eggs and good eggs. When I started having fresh eggs and I could taste the difference of fresh eggs.
Yeah, there is a big difference.
Huge, ginormous.
Yeah.
But now I can actually go and spot the difference. Like you can tell with the shell, you can tell with the density of the egg yolks, and you can tell with the density of the egg whites, tell how they taste. And so, all those things now, I'm happy with the eggs that I get from Costco. They're the Wilcox brands, which I think the Hooterites make them. And I'm happy with them because they taste very similar and very close to my fresh eggs. So I'm like, okay, those are real. Now, if you get the cheap bleached white eggs that are thin and runny and looks like snot, and the yolk's not really very bright orange or yellow, I mean, those things are disgusting. They're not food. I don't know where they made them or what kind of bastard chickens are popping those suckers out, but those things are disgusting. They're not food, and I would not recommend eating that 1,600 of those a month by any means. Definitely not.
So you make me laugh.
Yeah, exactly, Josephine. I feel best on, I know exactly what you mean. And if it wasn't so, the egg yolks have DHEA in them, which is why I hit them so hard, because DHEA is a precursor to testosterone. And so it boosts my testosterone. And everything that I'm doing right now is about, it's kind of like hack your health, right? It's like biohacking. I'm trying to use the DHEA to boost my testosterone and growth hormones. So I'm just trying to put things in that are just going to give me the best output, And so, yeah, it's a hard story to tell people when they first ask me what I'm eating right now. I'm like, now is not a good example. For sure. Has anyone ever told you it's safe to eat 54 eggs? I don't know, but wow. Ever told me? So I don't know. Like I've talked to weightlifters and farmers that have been eating, 18 to 36 eggs a day, raw yolks, for decades. And they said, we don't worry about salmonella. I mean, maybe you could get salmonella, but I mean, I really think it's one of those trade-off things where what are you more afraid of? Are you afraid of all the bad metabolic diseases that come with having low testosterone and a poor health? Or am I going to worry about salmonella that may or may never happen? Like how many people do you know that actually got salmonella from anything, And how many people of those people do you know that got salmonella and they cooked the crap anyways and still got it,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Todd.
Right. Like literally, if you go and add it up, I bet you don't know anybody that's ever gotten salmonella from drinking 54 raw egg yolks a day. Right. Like I bet it was probably somebody that made chicken or something, they got it or something. So I don't know. I mean, I appreciate the sentiment. Like everybody I've ever told that I'm doing this has it, but I'm like, I only have the capacity to worry about so many things at once. And right now, I'm not going to worry about this one. So I'm just
spoons.
Yeah.
The spoons analogy.
Yes.
You divvy out as much, you start the day with so many spoons, mental spoons.
Right.
And you allot those spoons to things during the day. And when you get to the end of the day, if anything else happens, you go, sorry, I just don't have any more spoons.
Right. Not going to worry about it. Not going to take it on. Very good. Yep. And seriously,
noted.
That's kind of where I'm at with things. I'm like, because you could work like, what is that? I always screw it up, but it's something like I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about this. I always screw this up, but it's like procrastination from over evaluation or whatever. Like if you question everything, you're never gonna do anything type of thing.
That's
what I
true.
mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and there's I mean, we can at a certain point we have to pick our poison, I guess is all I'm saying, and just go for it, you know. So let's see. Here we go. How do you eat your eggs? Just egg yolks only? Yep, just egg yolks only. And I put them in this here cup right here.
And he goes straight down the hatch.
Yeah, it goes about that full. That's why I love it, because so 18 egg yolks fills this about here, right? 54 egg yolks a day is this 3 times a day. Okay. So 18 egg yolks filled to about there. Well, that, if you were to take a can of soda, right? This is how I justify it in my brain so that I stop being a little wimp about it every day. Is I used to drink 12 to 18 cans of soda a day when I was getting completely unhealthy and having bad problems, you know. I had no problem taking down at least 12-ounce cans of soda a day. Well, this is just 12 ounces. And so if I have to drink 3 12 ounces of raw egg yolks a day, I know I can fit it in there. I used to do that all the time, and this is way better. So I just think of these, each one of them, as like a protein shake. So I take one in the morning, 18 eggs, take it down. That's my protein shake. Then I take one mid-morning, another one, 18 eggs, take it down. That's my second one. And then I have a big OMAD where right now I'm not worried about gluconeogenesis as much. I'm just going for it. So I'll try to eat anywhere. I was eating about 1.5 pounds of beef for an OMAD, but now I'm eating more like 2.5 pounds to 4 pounds, depending on the day. I really try to hammer the beef home when I do that. And then then after that, I separate them by about 2 hours. And then after that OMAD, I do one more egg yolk drink, and that gets my 54 of them down a day. And I don't know. I'll let you be the judge of what happens. But I've lost a lot of weight, a lot of shirt sizes. I put on a lot of muscle. I've gotten a lot stronger. I mean, when I stand on that vibration plate, it was just before Texas. I was tuckered out after 10 minutes of standing on that vibration plate. My legs were hurting. I do air squats while I'm on the vibration plate, but my legs were hurting and they were sore, when I get off there. Now I can go the whole 10. I could probably go 30 minutes and not feel it. You know what I mean? So it is doing something for certain. And my testosterone has skyrocketed. So.
Here we go. I've meant the high amount of eggs, not salmonella. If it's been done for years by people.
Oh yeah. I've never heard of anybody. So I thought the argument that everybody gives me is salmonella, but no, I don't think that there is anything dangerous or not at all about it. I really don't. The farmers, I mean, that was why I finally decided to do it, because I had low testosterone, and I watched a video about, I forget the guy's name, but about how he was doing 36 eggs a day as a metabolic steroid cycle as a professional weightlifter, because the DHEA was so potent. He was like taking gear basically back in the day in the 60s and 70s. So it was a hack to build muscle. So when I watched that, I was like, okay. And then around here, all the old time farmers said that if you want to stay romantic in your 70s, basically nature's big blue, nature's blue pill is at least 18 eggs a day. If you ate at least 18 to 24 eggs a day, they said you would keep your mojo into your, well into your 70s. And all
that's a lot of love.
That's what the old time. That's what all the old time ranchers did. So when they said that, I was like, okay, there's something to this. And I'll tell you what, if it was hurting people, there'd be a lot of dead 70-year-old ranchers if that was the case, because there's a bunch of them doing it,
And they'd be coughing up feathers.
Oh, that's a good point. Can you guys? So it's there, but it's a lot lighter.
It has absorbed quite a bit, hey?
Yeah. And
what about your finger?
Right there. So that one's they're both about half. Yeah. They both absorbed about half.
You can tell.
But I already took 50 milligrams today, and I've taken 50 milligrams, which is a massive amount of iodine. So this
That
was
is.
just 3 drops that I put on my skin here.
It's soaked in though, Todd.
It did, and
You can tell.
I already drank 50 drops of it today. Or sorry, 20 drops, 50 milligrams. I drank 20 drops today already, and I've drank 20 drops every day for, I don't know, probably 3 months or more now. So the fact that this is even absorbing is kind of
Yeah,
impressive.
I'm with you, Sandra. I think I'm gonna, at least, like you said, Todd, you think that at least everybody should try it. I mean, why not?
Right. Yeah, I mean, this stuff is like $25 a bottle, right? And where I'm at, it's the closest thing to a miracle pill. I mean, I crave it when I get up in the morning. It just turns the lights on for me. As soon as I get out of bed, my brain wants iodine. And yeah, it's about half of it has absorbed. As hard as I'm taking it, my body's still absorbing it this hard. Michael didn't absorb it this hard, and when he wasn't taken. So some people are just super deficient in it, I guess. Yeah, I guess it's a thing. I guess it's a real thing, the absorption part.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. And it's been 38 minutes since I put this on. 39 minutes actually since I put this on. So
I just dropped the link for that Dr. Brownstein video if anyone's interested. So can learn a little bit more about why Todd's doing this.
Yeah, for sure. Other than Todd's brain might be broken, but other than that happens.
Never.
But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I think it's worth a shot to anybody. Just try it. And, basically what Dr. Barry said is if your kidneys are functioning properly, then you don't have anything to worry about by taking a lot of it and trying it. You can ease into it to see if you're going to have any problems. Now, because he said you'll just pee off the excess. Now, Dr. Chafee says that is true with the exception of if you have a propensity for Hashis, it can trigger Hashimoto's disease.
No, I don't have that.
So that's something. So if you have a bunch of Hashis in your bloodline, you might look out for that. Now, I heard another doctor say that was bullcrap, that it doesn't trigger Hashis, that it actually heals Hashis. So I am not a doctor. I am also I am also not one to give a crap, basically. So I just took it anyways. I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna try it and see what happens. And yeah, I mean, it's been great for me, and I won't miss a day for sure.
Okay, sold.
Yeah, see, exactly right here. Bing. Nisha has Hashimoto's disease and takes it every day. So exactly.
There you go.
Point. Yeah, and a bunch of people that have Hashi said that that's nonsense, but there's a few doctors out there that believe that iodine overload can trigger Hashis. So I have no idea. Let's see.
Me too. It's ready in a tag for once we are done here. I don't know what that is. Maybe just a conversation with someone.
Oh, must have been. I shouldn't have clicked that. I thought you were talking to us. See, I told you. It was going to be a rough day. It was the fasting that gone sideways, chewed up my brain today. But yeah, so I don't know. I think it's going to be exciting. I guess I was going to be giving updates this week on my 40-day fast, but I guess I'm going to do updates this week on my priming for my next 40-day fast.
No, I'm proud of you though, Todd. That was a really good call.
I appreciate it for sure. I might have been actually functionally retarded by the time I came back on here for next Sunday. I might have just been drooling into the microphone for 3 hours at that rate.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I was in rough shape a few hours ago. I had a meat stick that saved my brain today.
Oh, goodness me.
Yeah,
It was it that bad, Todd?
it was bad. I hadn't had a fast crash on me this hard in a while. It crashed hard today, but I'm back. I got the brain back, kind of. Not really, not not totally.
So you're gonna go and have a steak after this?
I'd probably not till tomorrow. I'm still breaking a 6-day fast, and if I eat too much, I'll be glued to the toilet for a day. So I don't want to eat too much. Yeah, it takes me about a day reentry before I can eat for real, you know. So I'm just gonna have that meat stick, but it definitely pulled whatever was going on yesterday and today. It definitely pulled me out of the depths of it. So
Yeah.
I think by tomorrow, the real telltale sign is going to be when I stand up from this chair if the room starts to spin or not. That was happening all day today. So
Oh
see
dear.
if that cleared up. Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Interesting.
That is good. So yeah, I mean, it is. Basically, Brownstein says we're all, and it's not just because we don't get iodine. It's also because it's kind of like sugar and vitamin C, where I cannot remember the other things that we eat, but something, and this is partially because my my brain's not working today, so I can't remember. But I think it's like biotin or something. Competes with iodine for the absorption of iodine, just like sugar competes with the absorption of vitamin C, which is why when you stop eating sugar and you don't eat any fruit, you don't get scurvy because because you don't need much vitamin C. You only need vitamin C if you're eating a bunch of sugar because sugar blocks, competes with the whatever the process of absorbing vitamin C. So likewise is that of iodine for, I think it's berberine or biotin or something like that, something the B that blocks the absorption of iodine. So first of all, if you're not eating a bunch of eggs and you're inland, you're already going to have an iodine deficiency because there's really not much iodine you're going to get. Basically the only iodine you get is from the clouds, and the best source of inland iodine is eggs, right? So if you're not eating eggs, you're not going to get much iodine anyways. But even if you're in the sea, right, and you're getting a bunch of seafood and seaweed and stuff, you'll get iodine. But if you're eating a bunch of sugar and processed crap, it has whatever in it, and it blocks the absorption of iodine.
Yeah.
So. Oh yeah, fluoride competes with iodine. That was one of them too. I thought there was a couple of things that did actually, but yeah, I think you're right. I think fluoride was one of the things that competes with iodine. What's in our water? What do they pump in our water?
Yeah, I was just Googling it, but all the words have had millions of letters in it, so I didn't think I was going to try and say them all. There you go, bromide.
Yeah, bromide. Yep, that was the other one. I think they're right. I think it is fluoride and bromide, I think, are the two that compete with iodine. And I think with the standard American shitty diet that everybody's on, I think that's why we end up with a massive iodine deficiency, right? And he said every cell in your body and every molecule in your body requires iodine to be powered. So yeah, so kind of crazy.
There you go.
Right. So I don't know. And you know what else tells me that this is very, very real? I mean, besides the fact that it's working, is that when I go to buy this, they'll only sell me one bottle per transaction because the government regulates it, even in the United States.
What?
Yeah. So when I go to buy iodine, I buy 4 bottles at a time. They have to make 4 separate sales to me because they can't they can't sell me 4 bottles at once. So I have to run my card 4 times to get 4 bottles of this because this is a regulated substance. I know, iodine.
Oh.
Right?
Is that a new thing? I bought 2 bottles a couple of years ago when I first started. So is that new?
No, this. I mean, not that I know. Maybe it's new. I've only been using this 3 months, but the last 3 months.
Okay,
Could
yeah.
it be that the pharmaceutical companies and the food companies are starting to sweat a little bit?
Right. As soon as our government says
Good.
you can't have too much of that, I'm like, oh, okay, that must really work then, because you guys wouldn't be regulating it. It's not for our own good. It's because you guys don't want us to have it. There's something about it. So I don't know. I just thought that it was funny, right? That you can go out and buy enough you can go out and buy enough aspirin to kill yourself anytime you want, right? You can. You can. You can just go buy aspirin and go and kill yourself, right?
Yeah.
But you can't buy iodine because it's dangerous, you know?
Tell me something, actually. I remember, because my mother, bless her heart, she always had trouble sleeping. Okay, so now I know why. But I remember on the times that we went to the States, I think it was called Normasom, but we were all fascinated by the fact that in a regular supermarket in the United States, you could buy sleeping pills.
Right.
Like full on sleeping pills. Is that still a thing? You can, I think they were called Normasom or something like that.
I don't know. I mean, they used to be able to buy sleeping pills. You used to be able to buy diet pills that were like speed. You used to be able to buy trucker speed at the truck stops that were basically upper pills, that people were having heart attacks. That used to be a thing up until about 15 years ago, and then that all kind of got taken away. But it wasn't. It was only taken away because the drug companies want to sell it to you. They don't want you getting it off the counter. So,
they took it off the counter and then gave you Duramine instead.
Right.
Which is both in one.
Exactly.
Speed and...
Well, that's what killed Michael Jackson and Heath Ledger, right? Both of those guys died from that same concoction of sleeping pills at night and then speed during the day, basically,
Yep.
Yeah, right. There are videos that can teach you how to make your own Lugol's. I'm going to have to look at that. That would actually be kind of cool.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Todd's giving himself homework. Uh-oh.
Oh, not only that, it'll be kind of funny because I'll get shut down by the whatever. I don't know, whoever monitors iodine. They'll be like, whoa, they'll let the meth lab go next door, but they'll bust me for an iodine lab.
And you'll be there like this to them all going, come on.
Right. Like, oh, yeah, I mean, that would be a hilarious problem to have. You can't be making your own iodine. Can't be getting healthy on us. That's not good. Yeah, we used to get it from the soil thanks to the super phosphates. The soil doesn't have selenium, etc. anymore. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, the USA controlling everything. More like shutting off the supply of everything that makes us healthy. They're trying to make a sick population. That I did a video yesterday. Let's see, I'm going to have to choose my words wisely now. So I did a video yesterday, a live stream with Combat Carnivore that YouTube kicked off here because they're a bunch of commie pieces of shit, YouTube. But anyways, they kicked me off here. They booted my video because I talked about the jab. And all I said about the jab was he was talking about how there's bad science and that we shouldn't believe all science. We should actually, look into it for ourselves on everything. And all I said about the jab was the jab just got overturned by the United States Supreme Court for not being an actual jab because it doesn't actually prohibit the transmission of, the batshit flu that they're talking about, that they're trying to stop, So it's not even a jab anyways, which obviously I'm saying the jab rather than the real word and the batshit flu rather than the real word because they took my video down through AI yesterday because I dare say what actually happened to it. It's not like this is propaganda. They called it dangerous misinformation on medical information. It's like I quoted what literally happened in our United States Supreme Court. Like, this is a fact that this is what they just categorized it as. But Anyhow, I don't know.
The
Candy.
joys. We are in a sad world, folks, when
Right.
AI is making the decisions of a human. There, I said it. There, I said it. I've been caught on my mother's channel
Yeah, it's
with
crazy.
stuff saying, "Oh, we can't release this. This is." Okay, so first of all, I just want to be clear here. My mother she was a female, a dramatic soprano. She had a female voice, and yet the things that they were listing were of bass baritones and completely different music. I'm like, I don't think so, Mr. YouTube AI. So I fought it.
Yeah, right here. Always been one bottle at a time for a couple of years now. It's like, yeah, why are they doing that with iodine? Like, what could possibly
That's
be?
ridiculous.
Oh, it's so stupid.
Mm.
Let's see here.
You can get the providone iodine and use it as a foot soak or make a spray. Okay.
Oh.
Your foot
Yeah.
spa.
That'd be funny. I can see me in a back alley somewhere in a trench coat selling
Want some iodine?
eight bottles of iodine. That'd be hilarious.
Miles will be there with her electrolytes.
Yes. We'll clean up, Todd. We'll clean up.
Yeah, but wasn't propofol or whatever? Weren't they? Wasn't it just a concoction where he was on a endless cycle of uppers and downers like sleeping pills? And then
That was Heath Ledger. That was Heath Ledger.
That was Heath
I
Ledger.
remember the toxicology report on that one. In one of the things he was also taking was Xanax. And early on, when I had anxiety, that was the first thing they prescribed to me. I took one whole tablet of that, and I was basically sitting on the couch, all but comatose, awake, and I had a string of drool coming down the crease of my mouth.
Huh.
It just rendered me useless for anything. But yeah, Michael Jackson was the propofol. But the problem is these celebrities are getting multiple prescriptions filled from different doctors, and each doctor doesn't know what the other doctor has been prescribing. There's your problem. There, I said it.
That's crazy. Yes, they are. Robert Kennedy's going to shake things up. Politicians are coming out about being gene therapy and stuff. Yes, it's so bad. Absolutely. Yeah, I know. It's going to be great. I can't wait till it actually happens. I love that. Robert Kennedy backed Trump, and I'm sure Trump will give him a position to go after the drug companies and insurance companies. And so I can't wait. I hope this happens.
I wish him luck. He's taking on a monster.
Oh, he is, but let's let it happen. I mean, God bless him. I'll pray for him because those guys are putting their life on the line. But bye video for this one. You're not allowed to speak the truth. 100% sure. We're gonna have to go back. We're gonna have to go back to soapboxes in the public square to get information out pretty soon. Yeah, the iodine buying rules are not new. Just equally sad.
I was able to buy 2 bottles. Maybe it's different here in Australia.
I don't know what that means.
IV intravenous.
Right, but I don't know.
Michael Jackson, MJ.
Yeah, no, I know that, but what does paralytic mean?
Well, the propofol basically would have just knocked him out. The paralytic is just.
Oh, so it just
IV. It would have been intravenous.
Right. Okay. Well, so I guess so. What he would just they'd knock him out and put him in a coma every night or something. That's crazy.
Well, yeah, it's not great. It has to be monitored, and it kind of wasn't.
Well, obviously,
but I mean, the meat's the problem. Obviously, it's the meat that's causing.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I think what it was is cow farts got in there and took him out. Yeah, that's pretty clear to see what happened there. It was the carbon. Too much carbon from the cow farts.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
This is so stupid. Well, and this is only work. I mean, it's funny, but it's also sad because there's people that believe the narrative because they're not eating any animal products, and so their brain is broken, right? So there's a bunch of people that can't think or see anything that are ideologically possessed with this crazy narrative that can't see through how stupid all this is, right? And how crazy it is. So,
but the thing is, though, once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's what that's what I say. Like, for all my whinging, bitching, and complaining, you know, I don't know anything else. I'm going to continue to eat the meat, the eggs, the fish, the this and the other. I mean, could I switch it off in a heartbeat like that? And, you know, I had a discussion with my husband last night. He said, what would be, he said, I'm not saying you would, but what would be the first thing you'd go for? I said, salted caramel ice cream, 1 liter, let's go. I said, don't have any illusions. I could switch it off like that. But the thing that stops me is the fact that in 8 months, I've read enough and I've seen enough that I can't undo that. I can't go back there. I just can't.
Man, that's crazy. Man, they were so yeah. He was basically been put under instead of sleeping. That's even crazier because I mean, can you? I mean, just because they knock out your motor controls, does that mean that you get like REM sleep? I don't even know if that works.
Apparently, he had a hard time settling down. Actually,
well, but we all like
his dancing and stuff like that. He had pains in his legs.
Yeah, but okay, so me and my whole family always had, you know, anxiety and this fast head thing where you can't shut your brain off, right? I had that my entire life, and that only got better, and it's not even completely gone, but that only got better with eating cholesterol, eating animal fat that balances your hormones because it's a hormone imbalance.
Yeah, and
so yeah, I mean, I get that, but yeah, we cracked the case on this one.
farts is it?
Yeah, we can go ahead and close the books on that one.
Case closed.
Yeah, I know, but not many people. I mean, they're bussing them in. Did you see all the people that had to bus into her last convention or whatever? They caught them bussing in people. Like all the people that showed up are bussed there. Like probably given gift cards to get on a bus to be a warm body as an extra in what is the production of the presidential nominee for the Democrats. I mean, it's crazy. It's such a freaking, I mean, it's such a sad state of affairs. I've been a carnivore for 8 years. I'm supposed to be dead. My family are still scratching the heads. Exactly. Right? Good on you. I know.
8 years. Fantastic.
Well done.
I'm supposed to be dead. Oh my God.
Your family's pissed. Your wife's been paying those life insurance premiums for way too long now. She's like, I'm supposed to be on an island with the pool boy by now. You're still kicking. For sure. Good on you.
I love it. Good for you, Dan. Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
kicking ass and taking names. I love it. Love it.
100%. And we're all getting there. So I don't know. That's what I love. We're just going to keep making these videos, keep getting healthier, keep watching the changes, keep watching everybody getting healthier, keep watching all you guys that come and watch in the comments get healthier, start your own channels, speak it out, show your friends, be the example. More people will do it. And then they're going to have a hell of a time capping this propaganda, right? They're not going to be able to say it's bad for your health because everybody's going to live. Everybody's going to thrive. And
everyone's going to live.
Right. And then what are they going to
do? Like Dan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're oh, for sure. At a certain point, it's going to be so lopsided that the cheating is going to be so obvious that all hell's going to break loose. And I'm fine with it. Like, let's pop the lid off this sucker. Let's see where this goes in the future. Who cares at this point? It's obviously so crooked. It's not even funny, you know? So, but
It's politics.
Yeah, for sure. It's disgusting.
Politics.
It is disgusting. They all
It's
need
mad world.
Oh yeah, silliness. But that's why I don't even pay attention to them anymore. Pay attention to getting healthy. If we all want to do something to fix this world, we got to get ourselves healthy and then take on one friend or family member and get them healthy. If we do that, the politicians are screwed because they're not going to be able to maintain control. We got to be sick and stupid and bought off with, cell phones and conveniences and all of our dopamine addictions that we have to have, so that we got to feed it with our little cell phone pings and social media pings and all of our candy and shit that we got to have. We get rid of that and we don't need any of that. And we actually start talking and are calm down and not completely imbalanced. Yeah, they're in serious trouble. It's not going to work anymore,
Nope.
My doctor put in a cardiology consult and I had the cardiologist call me for an appointment because of my cholesterol. I said, no, good on you. Yeah, tell him to bend over, grab both ankles, and you'll show him where he can stick his consult. Yeah, quite seriously, those people. They're like, it just came to my attention that you are not currently participating in our drug dealing program, and we would like to get you signed up immediately, sir.
Both ankles.
Yeah, exactly what needs to happen.
Oh, the best love I've had.
Yeah, I vote Dr. Barry for Trump's White House doctor. Absolutely. I second that vote. Yeah, well, these people are so ridiculous. They don't care about our health. They care about us not being in their, in their pay program for their drugs,
All right, you've lost my one now.
I broke her.
Again. I love you, Todd. I really do. Your sense of humor, darling.
Yeah, I told you my brain's broken today. Don't you be careful.
God bless the damage, I say. I'll just grab both ankles. Woo!
It's true. Why is it that your doctor is calls you? Yeah, exactly. B-Dog knows what I'm talking about. They're just calling to make sure, that they're trying to call you and fearmonger you into getting into their drug participation. You need to be on the roll call here. We need you buying some kind of drugs every month. So let's get you in on the ground level here. Got to get you in on something, So disgusting. She busted. Yeah, I don't know, and I get it. I'm not telling anybody what to do with their doctor, with their medicine or any of that stuff, because I don't know. I'm no authority. I can just tell you what I did. And what I did was just that. I threw all my medicine in the garbage, which I know I can hear Dr. Phil and a lot of people saying, don't say that, because you got to, I'm not saying what I did was right. I was just so mad. I just threw it all in the garbage.
Yeah, I was mad too.
And I haven't taken a medication in 21 months. And I'm the healthiest I've ever been. So, was everything they told me bullshit? I'm going to say yeah. Because I didn't need it. I'm not on it now. I breathe now. I move now. I have all the options. My health is back now. I'm clearly a new person now. Yeah. So all I'm saying is I don't have all the answers and I can't tell you what to do, and everybody's got to make their own decision. But if everything they said was so true and it was so dire that I needed those things, how can I be so healthy now? If meat was so bad, fat was so bad, and those drugs were imperative to my health and I would die without them, why has it been 22 months, and not only am I alive, but I haven't had one complication, and things have only got better since I gave up the medicine and started eating the meat. Started eating the things that they said I couldn't have because it was bad for me. Stopped taking the things that they said was absolutely imperative that I take to save my life. I did the exact opposite of both of those things, and I'm standing right here in front of all of you, and I'm way better off because of it. I'm not telling you what to do, but it's something to think of.
Yep.
Maybe I should have eased off it. Maybe I got lucky. But clearly there was some level of utter and complete bullshit to what they were telling me. So that's what I just keep looking at. I'm like, why would I trust these people? You know? I just I know there's good doctors out there. I love a lot of doctors that I made friends with. They're heroes that are speaking against this stuff. But if your doctor is an indoctrination doctor who's been brainwashed, who's just now a drug dealer, and he's not seeing things the way they really are, I wouldn't listen to those people. I would find a better doctor. I would do what Dr. Phil says at the very least and try to find a doctor that's going to be your partner in this and help you get off of medications and not onto them. And then I'd be your own N equals 1, do carnivore, get your stuff together with an absolute plan that in 24 months I'm going to be off every medication, or 6 months, or whatever it takes. I would not just blindly buy into the bullshit because they say it. You know, I know that there's people that have problems that really are going to have to be on medication because they have like physical damage that's causing pain and things are broken and you're stuck in that spot. I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about people that say your body is not functioning right and it's not like a trauma problem and it can't heal. I'm calling bullshit because I'm watching lymphedema heal right now on me that's not supposed to heal. I watch congestive heart failure that wasn't supposed to heal. And I watched Carrie Mann's heart murmur that was supposed to be a genetic birth defect heal. So, what the hell? Like, I don't think we have any clue what can heal or what can't heal. You know? Let's see. I appreciate me, dog. When I went to the doctors recently, they were surprised that I'm not on meds at 50. Yeah, exactly. Surprised meaning, oh man, you should be contributing to my retirement plan and putting my kids through college. What's wrong with you? We need to get you on some kind of drugs. Get over here. Dr. Chafee says that too, Todd, once or twice a week in his live. He is direct. Absolutely. That's why I love Chafee.
Yeah, I love him too.
For sure. You know?
He's awesome.
He's a good dude. I've got to get back on track. It's been a rough couple of weeks. Our little dog died. I had him 12 years. So sorry, man. But you can do it, right? And, you know, this, don't think because you've been off track for a couple of weeks that you're back, you know, that you're like everything's been undone and you got to start all over. You don't. Just keep going forward. Just start where you were and just keep going forward. And within a few days, you'll start being old hat again, you know?
And you'll go into getting back on track with the knowledge that you gained before you went off track. So you've got that feather in your cap. You've got all that knowledge going into it. So that's definitely a plus.
Right.
Yeah. And I've said on my stream here before, I fell off as well. Since coming back from Texas, it's been a hard slog to get back on track, but we've got all the tools in our tool belt. We know how to fix this and how to get back on track. So it'll take time. Yeah, life happens and time heals. Just keep going as you're going. We'll get there.
For sure. Exactly. Nana City Farm knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, you need to be in the Pay My Beamer Note of the Month Club for sure. I know. That's literally what they're saying, you know. It's funny because if you're on a bunch of drugs, they don't call you to see how you're doing. It's when you're not on a bunch of drugs, they're like, I'm worried about your health. Really? Really? Because the number 3 cause of death in the United States are all these freaking drugs you have me on, and you don't call to check up on me when I'm on drugs. You don't care when I'm on drugs. But boy, if I get off drugs, now you're worried
Then
about
you
my health. Right.
Yeah,
know?
well, I've just lost 500 pounds, and every time I go to the doctors, they offer me Ozempic. I'm like, why? It's working. I've lost 500 pounds. I'm obviously on a good wicket here. Why
Right.
would I want Ozempic? I know I've still got weight to lose, but I don't need your drugs. I can do this with
You
my
lost
meat.
500 pounds and they've offered you Ozempic?
They still continue to offer me Ozempic.
So crazy.
I take offense because obviously I'm not at my goal weight yet, and they're like, maybe I haven't lost it fast enough for them, or I don't know what the issue is, but just give me time.
Oh, if you're on that stuff, yeah. I'm not even
Yeah.
convinced that diabetics should take it. I just think it's
No, I
nasty.
shouldn't.
It's nasty.
Lost
Yeah.
90 pounds, haven't gained any back, but snacking a bit too much. That's awesome. That's fine. Even Coach Raymond and SBG will say stuff like that sometimes, like when I was going through something hard or when I was quitting chewing, he's like, if you want to open up your diet and add in some snacks and some dairy and stuff, try to keep it carnivore. But if you want to add some in as a bridge or a crutch to get through that. So, yeah, I mean, if you're grieving and going through a hard time and you start snacking more, who cares? Like, just try to keep it as carnivore as you can and no worries, just to get back at it when you heal up,
Yeah.
Yeah. You're doing awesome. So stick in there.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Got this.
For sure. Well, we made it another 3 hours.
Wow.
We did it again. I wasn't sure I was going to make it because my brain looked like that. You remember in the, I don't know if it was, I think it was like the 90s where they would put the egg in the skillet and it was your brain on drugs or whatever. That's what my brain felt like today. So I didn't think I was making it 3 hours, but we made it. We appreciate you guys coming. We love all you. We thank you for coming every Sunday. You guys are a total blessing. And we look forward to seeing you next Sunday. I really am trying to get my poop together and have more videos. I tried to do one yesterday, and then I went and got mouthy and got it pulled right off of YouTube. But I'm going to do a bit of editing and try to get it back on. Don't be surprised if this video gets yanked off next, but we will see. And if so, I'll do a little editing, and you can find it in the video section of our videos, and we'll put it back up. So I'm going to do that next week. And next week, don't we have Adrian?
I think it might be the week after, actually.
I am so bad at remembering.
Yeah, I'll get the thumbnail up. What's the date today? No, you are right.
Today is the 8th.
Yeah. It's the 9th here. So, next week we've got Adrian from The Biggest Loser.
Nice.
Yeah, who's joining us. So it'll be interesting to talk to her.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And then I think we got to do, I think Carnivore Grandmother wants to do a collab. And then I feel like somebody else reached out to us the other day. Oh, and I'm going to, Dr. Kiltz messaged me yesterday, and Jake's going to be getting a hold of me, his assistant. And I think we'll have Dr. Kiltz on here. Hopefully.
He is a glorious man. I'm sorry. I say it every time I see his live streams. I say, hello, you glorious man. He is divine.
He's a good dude. He gave me one of these cups when I was in Wyoming.
I am so jealous. I love the fact that he does pottery.
He does. He makes
beautiful stuff, though.
Oh yeah. He did
beautiful stuff.
Yeah. So we'll have Kiltz on here pretty soon, and then we're gonna start making the rounds, and I think we better get Bella on here again pretty soon.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Yeah.
Definitely talk to her. Yeah. And I think in 3 weeks' time, it's our 1-year anniversary of our channel.
Oh, that's true too.
So
we're gonna have to do a little 1-year anniversary special too. So
yeah, party hats and all.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know if I can handle any more glitter. I just got the glitter out of my underwear from the last time. So yeah, I don't think I can do the glitter bomb this time, but I think I don't know. We'll have to come up with something. Yeah.
You want to see more glitter on Todd? Just thumbs up the videos.
No, do not do that. I just got the last piece of glitter out of my butt crack last week, so I'm not doing that again. That stuff. It's like if you brought sand home from the beach, you can't get it all. Like it never goes away. So, yeah, it's not good. Boy.
No, it's not. It really isn't.
For sure. And then you guys should start giving us some ideas of anything you want to see or people you'd like us to have on the channel, and we'll try to go out there and get them, you know. So
Yeah, got a few ideas, so definitely something to work on.
for sure. But we appreciate
Thanks
you
for
guys.
letting me gate crash.
Oh, thank you for coming on.
Thanks
That was
for
awesome.
coming.
That was awesome. And we will see you guys all next time.
Okay, see ya.
Bye, everybody.